Really? I don't have any volunteers? Okay, well, you're the
I
GM,
was
Pip.
saying, just give me just a moment, and I would happily
I'm
volunteer.
trying to remember myself.
Tom, I don't mean to be rude, but sometimes I begin to wonder if your old age is getting to your brain.
Fiaura, no, 2+ years of very bad insomnia.
So, if I remember correctly, last session started with us finishing up at the police station and heading out to speak with, heading out to hunt down the raiders who were disrupting the caravan lines. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's right.
So we finished up at the police station the start of last session. So we did some trading. We made our way out to meet up with or find the raiders, and ended up burying another body and heading off to figure out who is raiding the various caravans.
We also rescued Unit 777 from the police station.
Ah, yes, yes. Unit 777 is now alongside us. From there, we got armor, we got weapons, we got things squared away.
We lost our 50 cal in Mayunda.
No, the 50
No,
caliber
the
was
50
given to
cal was
us.
given to me.
Yeah.
You just can't use it because the battle cell is too small.
Well, actually, let me check which battle cell I have.
He can literally mount.
Demount it, yeah.
He can demount it and mount it to a new battle saddle and use it freely. It's literally
Yeah, he just has
way
not
to
done that
demount it
yet.
to a battle saddle.
Yeah,
I don't,
Well,
have
the-
I don't think I have the repair to do that just yet.
The
So I'd have
other
to have
side
Ponies
effect-
do it.
The other side effect would be it would be considered an unbalanced saddle. You need two of the same weapon, otherwise you take a penalty for firing an unbalanced saddle.
I only have a regular battle saddle. I'm pretty sure that would require a large.
But beyond that, we ended up tracking down the group and made it there before the rain really got started, but ended up negotiating our way into the quote-unquote raider den and found out that they were mostly amicable. There were a few that were hardline Pegasi supremacists, but the vast majority actually wanted to start up a place for their lost and dispossessed, while also showing the rest of the wasteland that they're not bad people. Roughly 5 of them, after a rousing speech from Violet and Thunder, decided to stay and make the place a caravan stop and potentially even a settlement. The party, after a brief celebration, went on to begin helping the local populace with ales, guard shifts, proper etiquette, and from there, the night was spent, and we find ourselves waking up in what was once considered a raider outpost, which is now going to be a home for dispossessed Pegasi. Did I miss anything important?
Not that I can think of.
Accurate. Well,
Yeah, it's...
the bonds of friendship spell. Other than that,
Oh yeah, and the friendship spell was
Yeah,
capped on all
that's
this.
about it.
Yep.
That's really about it.
I mean, Violet knows it's a spell. She doesn't know what spell it is.
So there's two things. One is something I fucked up last week. Tom, I didn't let you finish on the original stun robot and what you wanted to do with that. So what would you have done with it? Just would you have fully repaired it and made it functional, or would you sold it? Would you scrapped it? What would you have done?
If I could repair it and sell it, that would be a good source of caps.
Okay. Just make me a repair roll.
And now I need some music.
Also, I have no idea how much Mr. Hoosie's going to sell for, so that's going to be interesting. Awesome. So you get it turned back on, and it remains in passive mode because you did not try and reprogram it. It's still stuck, set patrolling the police station, and it's still set on passive mode.
I thought somebody was going to help me reprogram it.
That would have required Blueberry, which you can still do. I'm jumping back because I moved on.
I'm pretty sure I made a roll, but I don't remember how far back that roll was. I could just re-roll it if you prefer.
I don't remember you rolling it. Plus, you would need somebody to make an assist roll to help you read because you can't read.
Yeah, they teamed up to do the roll.
Okay.
Would that be an academics roll to help him read it?
You know what? I'll give you it since you're a teacher.
Just a standard roll?
Yeah, just a standard roll. It's to see how much of a bonus he gets. Holy shit.
That's 6 degrees.
Okay, it's plus 60. Yeah, plus 60, isn't it? From the assist? 60 degrees of success plus 60?
I believe for just an assist, it's plus 10 or plus 15. I'm not 100%.
Does it cap? Right, okay.
There is a cap on how much
Okay.
Otherwise, situations like this happen where you can't fail.
Yeah, okay, so we'll call it plus 15 and we'll double check the rules. Call it plus 15 for the time being.
Hacking in Matrix, yes?
Yes,
I have
plus 15.
hacking in Matrix of 32.
I have a 48.
Yeah, Glitch has higher. And plus he's
And
getting
it
the
has a
bonus
plus
of 15. Yeah.
Oh, come on!
Well, you don't break it, and you don't turn it off. It just remains in passive mode and shocks you.
Can I try again? Since
You can try.
Screw
Yeah,
up.
you can try again. Somebody's already read out the instructions, so I'll give you another plus 10 at this one.
He's working on a robot, right?
Yes.
7 Snickers when he gets shocked.
I look at
There we
7.
go.
Do you know how to do this, 7?
We don't have any idea how that particular device works, no.
I just pictured like Blueberry gets shocked. 7 laughs. Grease asks that. Her response followed by Blueberry. Then shut up, like Adam Sandler style. But no, that'd be out of character.
But your main standing on in was hilarious.
I should clarify, the reason you're not taking the HP hit is because this is me going back because I made a fuck up and forgot about this. So, splendid. The robot is now working. It is mostly repaired. The armor's still a bit dinged up at the moment. You haven't applied any scrap to fix that, but it's completely functional. It's no longer... Well, would you switch it from passive to aggressive, or would you not, Tom? Or Glacier? Its IFF is tagged you as friendly. You know that much. You set it to follow, but would you take off the passive mode?
I would ask Grease what she wants with it.
Let's leave it to passive. It's just going to have it follow us, and I don't know, like I say, what else we could really do with it. Like I said, if we can sell it later, we could hopefully get a decent amount of caps for it, or bits.
We're in a hotel, aren't we?
No, we've jumped back to the police station because when we were there, I forgot about this. I moved on too quickly. For all intents and purposes at this point, I know I'm retconning slightly, but I fucked up. The Mr. Hoosie has been following you quite happily, beeping.
I'm trying
not-
to locate it because I think somebody said that we wanted to sell it.
Yes, I don't think it's actually an item that's sellable, so I guess I'm going to have to make one. Considering...
I was actually looking because there is a Mr. Gutsy that you can purchase in the Capital Wasteland as a follower. And I'm
I
trying to
think that's 1,500, isn't it?
Yeah. But I couldn't remember how much it cost.
I think it's 1,500.
And that's a Mr. Gutsy. So Mr. Gutsy is a combat model. For a civilian model,
This is riot control, so let's call it 1,250. How's that sound?
then adjusted by your barter percentage.
Yeah. In fact, if you want, you can sell it straight on to Flash. Would you buy it or sell it to the first vendor you've come across, Tom, or would you wait until you hit a town? Tom?
Oh, I'd be more than willing to sell it right off the bat because, like I said, I only have about 30 caps, bits, whatever right now.
Okay, make me a barter roll unless you want to just go for the flat 1,250.
Let's see how much I can screw it up.
I'm currently sitting at 4 caps right now.
Also, Dazio, just out of curiosity, is there a thing in the Wastelands Trail Guide, because I've missed it, that directly states how barter works? Because if there is, I have missed it.
Hang on.
Second.
I mean, you failed. In fact, that was nearly a crit, Jesus. Anyway, you failed this roll, so no. Flash does not haggle.
I made the roll.
Yeah, you failed. 95 to 58. So, nearly 3
Oh, I wrote. Oh, that was Blueberry. I'm sorry.
Pip, remind me, you've bought a copy of all the books, right?
Have I got a what? Do I have a copy of all the books? No, I only have the Wasteland Survival Guide and
No,
the
but you have
open
a
air.
copy. You have a copy coming as they release, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think they said the next one's out in like 3 weeks or something.
Yeah, Raggle Fraggle.
How else would I be able to be in your Saturday game if I didn't? I gave you my receipt.
No, I was making sure on something before I do something.
Let's see. The main things that I've noticed is that barter is just a flat percentage. So everybody, when you're selling something to a caravan or to a trader, you automatically take 50% of the given value of what you've got, and then that number is increased by a percentage of your barter, or your purchase price, which is almost always double the listed book value, is reduced by the percentage your barter is. It can never fully remove the doubled price or get you 100% of the salable price. I believe it caps at like 75% reduction or increase in sale price.
So there are two ways to run this. One is to run it where everything for barter purposes is doubled price when we're buying, and we buy stuff at half of its listed value price, and then if you get the absolute best barter roll possible, you buy at 125% and you sell at 75%. The other way to run this is to have it 50-100, where we sell at 50% and we buy at 100%, and we can never close the two values down to less than 10% away from each other.
I mean, that system sounds like the simplest for somebody that's not very good at maths like me, so I think I might run with that one. Unless anybody has an objection to that, because otherwise you're going to have to help me do the maths, because I'm god awful at it.
Nope, I'm okay with that.
I can work with that.
Same here.
Right, so we've agreed that it's 1,250 because it's not in the book anyway, so you feel we're just going to run with it as 1,250 for the purposes of this.
Yeah, that's
All
the
right.
market value of it, which means
Yeah.
that half that is 625 caps.
So I increased by 10% for each degree of failure. Got it. I'm going to put that in pin it, just so that we remember, or at least I remember, that we've set that as the rule.
So
And that's 3 degrees of failure. Because you can't, it doesn't round up or round down. It's the tens place.
So I'm just pinning the rule in the Discord so I remember it in future. So we half it, so 1,250, that's... $625, and selling price is 50%. So what's 10% of that? 625.
Hold on. Because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just say $625 would be our standard sale price, and then I'm going to multiply that by 0.85 to adjust for the 15% drop. 531 caps.
Do you sell for 531 caps, Tom?
yes.
Awesome. He takes it off your hooves, passes you the caps, and is very happy with his purchase.
It'll make for an excellent guard. It never sleeps.
Not only that, it's a bit of a novelty piece having a Ministry of Morale variant that's riot control capable. So,
Plus,
jumping.
no pony expects beanbag round.
Nobody expects what? Sorry?
The beanbag round.
Beanbag round, God. I've seen those get shot at people, man. That looks sore. So, jumping back to our what was supposedly a raider den, but is quite evidently not a raider den, was just desperate. We finished up I rushed you through it because it was late. So you all made your rolls. Unless you particularly want to act them out, we'll just jump forward to the next morning. If you want to, then I will accommodate you.
I think the next day works for me.
By the way, Blueberry, do you want half of this, or what do you think is a fair amount of the, say, 500 caps?
How many caps do I have? Um, 150 and call it good.
115, you say, or 150?
150 and call it good there.
150. That'll leave me 300 because I was going to put the remainder into party stash.
So 80 caps into party.
Yeah. I actually had 57 caps, which still wasn't a lot.
I actually had 77, so we were both kind of low.
Fuck me, Fee, that image. No, you don't understand. This image is great.
Where?
She posted it directly to me because you were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt you, so I told her to maths because I hate maths. And she sent an image.
Oh.
Anyway, enough me side rambling. So, you get given one bedroom and the conference sort of room with the big couch that you were sharing. So, that's your quarters for the evening. Nothing goes bump in the night, and there's no attacks. Everything is just nice and calm, apart from the fact that you can hear thunder and lightning and rain streaking off the windows.
Well, looks like we're going to be here for a bit. I'd rather not travel in the rain.
Yeah, the weather's quite chirpy, isn't it?
We wouldn't mind if the rain was tingly.
I'm pretty sure the rest of us would. Radiation and us don't get along very well.
So, what shall we do while we wait for the rain to abate?
Well, we could see if they've got anything that we can do to help out around town.
Yes, seems like the most logical choice, seeing as it's the only thing we can do right now. Any suggestions?
Sundance is the teacher, right?
Yes, he is.
Blueberry is gonna walk up to him and say, "I want to know how to read."
You remember the episode where Twilight's teaching Rainbow Dash about the
He's not that bad.
No, but you know the episode, don't you?
Yeah, I know the episode.
That's the look on his face. He is essentially Twilight Sparkle. So he sits down and he'll teach you everything.
Well, everything we can with the time we have.
Yeah.
Till something happens.
What rules do I need to make, Lil Pip?
I think the best way we can do it is probably like when a unicorn teaches another unicorn a spell. It's probably the best way we can do it, so I need to double check the rules for that, to be honest.
It takes a week.
I'm going to make it take longer for its learning to read and write.
It takes a week for a basic spell at 4 hours of tutelage a day.
Takes a week for 4 hours of tutelage. Learning to read and write is going to take much longer than that. We'll 4 hours of tutelage every night, and every 2 weeks your vocabulary will expand. So you'll be able to learn the basic words in 2 weeks, then you can move on and on and on until you can fully read after. How long does it actually teach somebody to read in real life? Because I don't have a clue. I don't have any kids.
Honestly, depending on how intelligent the individual is, it can be less than a week.
Seriously?
Let's check his
But your
intelligence.
entire first semester of kindergarten is learning to read and write.
So
yes,
what's
but that's also getting them focused enough to do so. As an adult, learning to read and write is much faster.
I have a 6. I have a 6 intelligence.
Roll me intelligence just for the sake of it. Fee's going to Google it because none of us really know, and we'll try and come up with something.
I wasn't expecting to be like, sit down one day and just be like,
Yeah.
pull a Neo. I know how to read.
The average,
I figured-
the average adult literacy class, in order for them to learn to read, takes between 500 and 600 hours of instruction before they have full literacy and are numerate completely on their own.
So that's 150 days. Well, sorry, 150 days of 4-hour tutelage.
That's
125 days of 4 hours a day. 250 for the average person. An exceptional individual who has an IQ of above 135 can learn to read and write in roughly 400 hours, whereas a rather unexceptional individual can take up to 1,000.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Both James and Glacier roll me intelligence.
what time of the day is it?
oh hi.
Ooh, shit, Jesus. It's morning. Let's call it 9 o'clock.
Okay,
If
so
you
I've got-
roll up fairly late.
Okay, so I've got +1 to my intelligence.
Well, whatever
That's
you do,
fine.
teach, I think I pick it up.
Yeah, you pick it up big style. See this how you got the nat 1? We'll call it 100 unless you crit fail. So 100, yeah, so it's going to be 400 divided by 4, that's 100. So 100 sessions of being tutored. Unless you crit fail one of your lessons, then you'll add on a week. Or sorry, you'll add on a session, I guess.
I feel like unless we do a time skip, he's not going to learn to read.
Well, no, because you're still going to get the basics of, you learn the basic words. It's for you to become fully literate, it's going to take 100 days.
I imagine this will be a hilariously interesting thing to roleplay out as he learns to read some and not other things and tries to grasp things by context and gets it completely wrong.
Oh, we're going to make him do that every time he tries to read something.
There's a reason it's a negative trait because illiteracy takes a long time
Well,
to fix.
yeah, if it took a fucking day, there's no point in it being a negative trait because I took care of that. But it's session 3.
Okay, so I'm going to write it down, and I recommend you to write it down. So it'll take 100 days of 4-hour tutelage, and every time you crit fail, you will add on, let's call it 8 hours to learn. Every 2 weeks, you learn more basic vocabulary. How does that sound?
I'm looking for somewhere to write it down.
You might just need it in a pen and piece of paper like I'm doing right now.
Screw it, I'll put it in appearance. Nope, I don't have anything in there.
Miscellaneous stuff. How's that?
There's nothing to write in there. There's nowhere to write in there.
Just find somewhere.
To write what? That you're learning to read and write?
To keep track of how long.
The Roll20 sheet, I don't think there would be a spot, but the...
Do you have your Google Doc sheet up?
Unless you wanted to do it under perks and just make it at the bottom where it says quest perks, just start adding it as a quest perk. Otherwise,
Yeah, we can do that.
Otherwise, use your Google sheet and there's a section that says background and description.
I just put it in appearance because I wasn't using that box anyway.
I
That
go
way
with
it's
quest
on the per
perk.
page.
I go with quest perks instead of the quest perk.
I'll put it in quest perk once he actually learns it.
Yeah, regardless. So, you pull out, you're a teacher, so, and you wouldn't have, we'll give you a Fool's book. Okay, add that to your inventory. You go around
Okay.
and you ask one of the Pegasi. He happens to have one.
A Fool's Book of Learning.
Essentially, yeah.
Who's adding it?
You choose.
I'll add it. I'll add it to my inventory.
It teaches your ABCs. So, while they're learning to learn, that didn't make sense. While they're learning to read, what is everybody else doing?
Unless someone is actively training 777 and something to do, she is most of the time probably keeping watch because she can just do that. And therefore give the town guard something else to do besides sit on boring watches.
Do we have any armor that I can start modifying for 7?
She has an armored gi that's been fit for her, but that's all that's been done to it.
Okay. Grease will work on making it fitted better.
It already fits.
Matter of fact, the only item on her entire person is the armored gi. She has nothing else.
Where's our loot? Do we have a loot list?
Yep, it's in journal.
Well, the raid armor will sell. The sports armor was Muyenda's, right?
Mm-hmm.
15 scrap metal, some scrap electronics.
You could make reinforcements out of the scrap metal and rip apart a radar armor to get the leather bits you need.
Sure.
As far as any actual weapons or other equipment, I mean...
Does she have magic, or is she too young?
She has magic. She has plenty of magic. She just knows that using it too much will burn her out.
It's an alicorn, Tom. It's probably the most powerful spellcaster.
No, unicorns genuinely can be more powerful.
Unicorns can be more diverse and more powerful. Alicorns are just more... They're more powerful out of the gate.
I have a butcher's cleaver and the heavy machine gun, but those are the only weapons I have that I'm not using at the moment.
I was going to say, let's give her the 20 gauge shotgun.
That'll work.
I will dismantle it and clean it and give it to her and show her how it works.
I mean, she looks really bothered by the device and doesn't seem to handle it well at all.
So, as you give it to her,
It's not loaded.
not loaded, okay.
Or if anything, I'm giving her I'm put empty shell casings in for dummy rounds.
You don't have dummy rounds.
Then I take the firing pin out for safety while she learns how to use it. And I understand you don't like this. It doesn't feel right. It's just something in case you can't rely on your... If something happens where you can't rely on your magic. And with that, I also start ripping apart 2 sets of...
Wait. Do you have firearms marked as a tag skill?
Yes, I do.
Are you actually taking the hour of time to give her actual instruction on how to use the gun?
Yes.
Awesome. Her firearms is now 11 instead of 6 because of Cutie Mark Crusader.
I would have suggested utilizing that for something you're actually going to use, but it's your character, do as you want.
Well, no.
It's an always... Go ahead, Fiaura.
She can technically learn any number of skills so long as it's from a player and they are teaching her with one of their tag skills.
Oh, you can learn it from everybody, right? Okay, I see.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is why she's got a +5 to medicine.
Right, okay, I get it.
I also taught her some academics before we all went to bed, and that's my tag skill.
It doesn't just have to be your Cutie Mark skill, it just has to be a skill you have tagged. So,
It is
Blueberry
a-
taught her battle saddle, taught her how to use a battle saddle.
I
Violet taught her
understand.
how to use medicine. We're learning how to use a gun now. 777 is still very inept at using a gun, but it's slightly better.
She is not happy about using the gun.
You, Fiaura, understand, though, also, there's being able to use it and implying that you've used it.
True.
Because shotguns are awe-inspiring at times when you have it shoved in your face.
So you teach her how to fire the shotgun.
And after an hour of that, I will then start tearing raider armor into bits.
Roll repair mechanics if you're going to start ripping things apart.
She's got an armored G.
I'm making her reinforcement patches. Give her a little more armor.
Okay.
It's something to do while everybody else, while school is school is in session. But I'll
Okay.
teach her that, and I'll show her how, I repair things and fix stuff.
Okay, you passed. I don't know if there's anything in there specific. There's not much it is.
She keeps mistaking a hammer for a screwdriver.
It's going to be worse than when she decides to use a screwdriver as a chisel.
So you sit there and you try and teach her, and she's getting better, but she's still convinced that one tool is another tool.
She tried to use an Allen wrench as a regular wrench.
She's trying to use a spanner as a chisel.
You can use a spanner if it's big enough as a hammer.
I just gained 10 skill
Not a
points.
chisel.
Especially
not a
with
chisel.
all the fucking negative I had to take on skill points to build this character.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
So you pull apart the leather
I mean, I
or
still
the
have
raider
these
armor, and you
stats.
get I don't even know how much you get from it. I haven't even thought about that. 5 scrap metal, and what is the unit of measurement for leather? Is it just leather?
I just needed the leather bits to make the reinforcement armor.
Yeah, you have plenty.
Kits, reinforcement kit. It's measured in either leather belts or leather straps. They are interchangeable for purposes of modding. To make a reinforcement kit, you need 4 scrap metal, 1 leather belt, and 2 wonder glue.
Well, you have everything but your glue.
Yeah. Now I need to remember to buy wonder glue.
Or find it. Shit's common. So, Violet, what are you doing?
Violet would open up clinic again, and with luck, there are a few individuals who would be willing to take over and, learn how to properly treat injuries so that when she's not present, she could, know that the people were being properly taken care of.
Do you inform Thunder about this?
Well, I figured Thunder would be the only person she could talk to about opening up the clinic for another day, considering it's raining outside, and, well, they're going to be doing some traveling, but they need to be able to do so while the rain is clear.
Okay. Thunder's out by your room if you want to go and leave your token to him.
Hey, Thunder.
Violet.
So, excuse me. So, I was wondering, I was gonna set up clinic again today, but we're gonna have to move on and get to the circle because we've got another job that needs to be done. And I was wondering if you happen to have anybody who is even competent with medicine that you could send my way. That way I could help get this place an actual doctor.
Need apologies. Thanks for a minute. I think we have one who is learning to be a field medic, but I don't know. I don't know how far along she got.
That would be acceptable.
Okay.
And same place as yesterday?
Yep, sure. I'll go and try and wrangle her up and see if I can find her.
Alrighty. Violet will knock on the door to the room that she was using yesterday for medical treatments.
Uh,
It is currently vacant.
As a note, these
Yeah,
are
there's
64
things.
because she gets increased.
Oh,
limit
that's not meant to be
from,
there.
Alicorn Large.
And she meanders inside, and
I'm just looking to see if I have a unique token. 2 seconds. If I don't, then I'll just throw one.
hangs up all her gear except for her Wasteland Surgeon's outfit, which she keeps on, and sits down at the desk.
Do I have a unique token?
She makes a little hoof, a little horn-written sign, and goes out and just hangs it in the wall, or hangs it in the door number slot, and it reads, "The doctor is in."
So please ignore the fact that it's got power armor, because none of these pegs have power armor.
Okay. I would not be surprised if she did still have her power armor.
Oddly enough, none of them seem to be wearing it, at least. It's entirely possible they still have it, you just don't see them wearing it. So, after a couple of minutes, you hear Thunder's voice outside, and in steps a teal Pegasus mare. She looks young. She's got two-tone black and yellow mane and tail. She is wearing nothing at the moment.
Hello. So, what seems to be the issue?
Thunder said I'm to come talk to you about learning?
Ah, yes. Well, today's going to be the first day of well, on the job training, as it were. Violet steps back over to the desk and shows her the array of medical supplies that the party can part with, and I'm going to actually be imparting roughly half of what the party recovered from the hospital to the settlement. So if they need to part with medical supplies to make some caps, they can, but for the most part, it's going to be the supplies for the settlement.
How much did we agree on? Because I've forgotten.
There were 96 units of medical supplies. And
So,
I'm going to part with about 45 units of medical supplies. We're going to assume roughly 20. I'm actually going to say more along the lines of 30 units of rad drugs. So 20 Radaway, 10 Radex, and then the remaining 15 are going to be a combination of healing potions and magical bandages. Probably like 10 healing potions, and or no, 5 healing potions and 10 magical bandages.
okay. I assume you have all that right up in your inventory, so you have keep that as fine.
Hold on. Ah, damn it. Violet does that. Also, Violet is going to kind of like, for the day, she's going to teach the Pegasus. All right, brings me up to 23. I have not been keeping track of my karma. Huh. I have absolutely no idea what my karma should be. But anyway, she's going to teach the Pegasus how to make magical bandages, how to make basic bandages out of old cloth. And let's see. She's also going to teach the Pegasus how to purify water, so that, you know, it makes it easier for them to produce clean bandages. And the basic idea is that you boil the water until it becomes steam and distill it out into just it being water.
Okay, she actually didn't roll that bad.
Hold on. Or actually, what the hell am I doing? She gets a +10 on the roll, so she's successfully learning.
Yep. So over the next few hours, you start to teach. I'll jump back a bit. She offers, before you even do that, before you start teaching her, she offers a hoof to you. I'm River Breeze.
Pleasure to meet you, River Breeze. I'm Violet. And I'm one of the few people in the wasteland who is actually trained as a doctor. So consider yourself lucky. There aren't too many of us that are still traveling around anymore.
I mean, I was never going to be a doctor. I was just a combat first aider.
Violet
Well-
smiles at her and looks at her and says, "Well, guess what? You're going to be a doctor now. So you're going to need to do a lot of studying. You're going to do a lot of practicing, and you know, every now and then I'll stop by and see how you're holding up. Maybe give you a day off or two."
The wings noticeably droop as you mention the word study.
You didn't think this was going to be easy, did you?
I didn't get much of a choice. I was voluntold by Thunder.
Well, let's put it this way. You've got one of the most secure jobs in this settlement now. As long as you do a good job, people are going to be healthy and happy. So,
And if I do a bad one, second dead.
well, there is that drawback, and that is a stressful thing to think about. But I'm going to put it this way. You do the best you can for the people around here, even if it just means giving them a healing potion or giving them some rat away or bandaging up, cuts. Do the best you can. Oh, right. And she thinks about it for a moment and she floats out a spare bottle of alcohol. As long as it's a high proof alcohol, she sets it down on the counter, and you're not to drink this. This is for cleaning wounds, for, preventing infection. She says you can use alcohol to clean the wound and wrap it in a bandage. Most ponies will heal on their own. Magical bandages are for severe wounds.
Right, got it. So, over the next couple of hours, as you teach her, she passed the roll for your plus, so yep, she's learning. She isn't very happy about it, but she's learning. She's quite capable as far as you can tell. She obviously just doesn't want to work very hard.
And Violet looks at her and says, as the day is going on, because this is going to be pretty much all of Violet's day, looks right at her and says, so, aside from the process of manufacturing the medicines necessary for keeping the people around here healthy, how many people have we actually had to treat today?
Was that a question directed directly at me, or was that directed at...
Yeah, that was directed at River Breeze.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant me as a GM, but that's fine. No pony as of yet.
Exactly.
Roll me luck, Dagio. Roll me luck. Just because you say that.
Pass
You
by 3
hear...
degrees.
Yeah, you hear a very loud rumble of thunder, a bright flash outside the window as lightning strikes outside.
And on the upside, being the doctor means that, well, you don't have to be standing guard in this.
I'm sure they're still going to make me take my turn.
Actually, I'm going to make sure that Thunder understands that a doctor's job is very difficult, and that in your particular case, being someone who's still learning, you need as much time to learn the ins and outs of what you need to do, that you're going to be taken off the guard rotation.
I should probably ask him to let me go and rummage around that old library as well, in case there's more books.
Well, actually, that was the next stop on our little journey, was to check. And if we happen to find anything medically related, I can always bring it back here after I've had a look through it.
That would be helpful.
But if you'll excuse me for a moment, I'm going to start walking towards the door.
And coming from the door is a very scorched Pegasus.
Okay, this is new to me.
He's been struck by lightning. I was out on guard duty, and I got struck by lightning.
And you're still walking, talking, and breathing. You're doing fantastically. Come over here, have a sit down, let me take a look at you.
He sits down as instructed.
And Violet looks him over real quick. and motions River Breeze over.
What kind of armor is he wearing?
He is.
Because if he's wearing metal armor, that's gonna be bad.
Actually, no, if he's wearing metal armor, that's going to be a benefit because most of the current is going to traverse the metal rather than his
Yeah,
body.
it's not going to go through his actual body.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking that it will actually conduct.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's metal.
River Breeze, I'm assuming that you've probably seen this more often than I have. The last time I saw somebody who was struck by lightning, they were dead. So, using what you know of medicine and what you know of what a lightning strike does to a pony, can you kind of help me out on this? I'm, well, as I said, a little lost. She steps up and has River Breeze take a look.
Wow.
I would assume that she gets a bonus because she's dealt with lightning strikes before, especially.
She does. I forgot to add it, but that's a 90 anyway.
Well, re-roll it because you forgot to add the bonus.
Oh,
And she's also still got the plus 10 from, my assistance.
you're assisting. Make a roll if you're assisting, please. Nope.
Well,
You-
roll 20, and by the way, no, the assistance doesn't go away after the first. Like, unless the task is finished, the assistance doesn't go away.
Okay, that's fair. She still doesn't know. You don't know. As far as you can tell, he should be dead. He just seems to be super duper lucky.
Alright. Well,
Was he in the air?
anyway,
So, by my calculations, Windfall should be dead, but Windfall's not dead. Windfall just has really burnt feathers.
Violet looks him over. Can we get you out of that armor for a moment?
Sure. He slowly strips out his armor.
Second question. Would Wasteland Surgeon be of any benefit to me in this?
Wasteland Surgeon. That's your background, isn't it?
No, Doctor is my background.
What's Wasteland Surgeon again? Because it's not ringing any bells.
Wasteland Surgeon can restore crippled limbs with healing potions, super restoration potions, or the heal spell.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Well, at this point, I'm going to take 50 on the roll, granting me 4 degrees of success. What's wrong with him?
He's been struck by lightning. His nervous system is well, put it this way, all across his body you can see the arcs where the electricity has ran across. How he's not dead, you're honestly not sure.
Well, actually, we've seen ponies get struck by lightning and survive.
That's true, Pegasi do seem to have a natural, affinity to not die, but you're a wasteland doctor, and the Pegasi have only been around for about 2 years.
Well,
As far as you can tell, he should be dead.
yeah, well, anyway, I'm going to go about treating the parts that I do know.
You're mostly teaching healing burns from where the metal has been in contact with his skin, as well as his burnt wings.
Well, I'm going to look him over, and I'm going to say, well, from my limited knowledge of Pegasi, the feathers should grow back in time. These burns need to be treated, and it's not going to be pleasant.
River's nodding along, especially the part about feathers going back.
And so what Violet does is cast the spell. Casts Restoration, which is a. Let's see. This doesn't count as magical energy damage, so
It's not magical. It's literally just burns where the metal has been in contact with them.
Yep. And she looks at Seabreeze. Generally, you would have to treat this with some magical bandages because burns can become infected very quickly, and you do not want to use alcohol on them because, well, that just makes it worse. So, if you have to deal with burns in the future, use the method I showed you to make fresh water. Make some magical bandages with, a mix of the healing potions that I taught you how to make, and use the healing potion to saturate 3 bundles of bandages and let them air dry for a while. Once they've fully dried, you can use them to heal injuries such as burns, serious cuts. They will not heal broken limbs. Those need to be set and they need to restore on their own. Unless you can
Okay.
set them and use a healing potion. At that, she's going to take a 50 on her magic roll, and this is just for the healing amount. Well, I mean, it was a successful roll anyway, so he recovers 22 hit points and 11 points of limb damage across all the limbs.
Splendid. So, his burn starts slowly healing up. Oh, so just to let you in and understand, I rolled for his endurance. He got in that one, which is why it's surprisingly mundane, as well as being a Pegasus.
I figured as much. But
Realistically, he should be a lot more injured, but he got super duper lucky. Well, the dice decided anyway.
Hey,
well, that and the metal armor
Stop.
helping deflect a lot of
Yeah.
that because metal is less resistant than flesh.
So, he is not very happy, but he's gonna live and he's gonna heal.
I'd recommend plenty of fluids, a fairly healthy diet for the next few days, and at least 24 hours bed rest. I'll make and she steps over to the desk and begins writing out a doctor's note for the Pegasus.
River comes over and then watches you to learn.
Yep. She's just writing down, directions for patient and a request to Thunder to excuse said Pegasus for at least 24 hours worth of bed rest, no less, and that until the feathers recover, that he should be kept on duties inside the settlement that do not include going outside or flying.
Huh. You know, when we first came down here, I thought things would be a lot more backwards, but it seems a bit like up home.
Well, there's a lot of things that have been lost in the wasteland, and one of which is my bedside manner, but we do try and treat our ponies well when we can. What you've had to deal with elsewhere, I don't know, but where I came from, if you treat people right, they'll do right by you.
I'm all about your medical knowledge.
Well, I mean, it does help that I was properly trained.
Yeah, but like up in the clouds, you need to go to school for a long time for that.
Well, I did go to school for a long time. It's just that your school probably starts off fairly slow with mundane things. My first day on the job was amputating a leg and making sure that the individual survived it. She looks at the Pegasus and hands him the 2 notes. This one is directions for you to take care of yourself. This one is for Thunder. If he decides to listen to my recommendation, that's great. If not, well, just do your best to get as much rest as possible and try and avoid stray bolts of lightning.
Yeah, I don't want to relive that. That was not fun.
I have no doubt. But on the upside, you're still breathing. She smiles at him. Now, go talk to Thunder and get some rest.
He snaps off a wing salute to you and wanders off. Well, when I say wing, more like part of a
Flesh
wing.
nub.
Yeah. So, what is everybody else doing at the moment?
I'm still teaching Blueberry, or is that actually finished by now?
It's up to you. You can act out a bit, or you can just jump to, yeah, you finished, and move on to something else.
Yeah, I can say that the 4 hours is done.
Awesome. You hear the crack of thunder and lightning. It was right outside.
Oh, looks like we're still gonna be here quite a while. What to do now? This armor could use a bit of seeing too. And I will proceed to find Grace to see if she can do anything with my reinforced leather armor.
You find Reese trying to teach 777 what tool is the right tool, and is struggling, clearly.
And if your armor's been reinforced, I can't do much for it.
Well, I was looking at getting better armor, but anyway, would I be able to use academics to assist Grace?
No, you don't know anything about repairing.
Oh, it's...
I'm just giving Seven something to do.
it seems you're quite busy. I'll come back another time. Um... Oh. What am I gonna do now? Good question.
Liberty, what are you doing?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, unless anybody's going to declare anything or go and talk to someone.
I suppose I could just check on Violet, see how she's doing.
I was actually gonna say Violet was going to leave the clinic for a moment so that she could go grab a bite to eat and take an impromptu shower. There is rain, and it's more than likely clean. Or as clean as she's gonna get.
Put it this way, the Pegasi do not seem terribly concerned about the effects on their health about it.
Well, we have been on the road for quite a bit, and yeah, I suppose I could probably get washed up myself as well.
Liberty, you watch as Violet and Sundance wander off down the stairs.
I Guess I'll just look around. Like, I don't know what to do. Everybody seems to have everything taken care of.
Well, you can go and talk to people, but if you don't have anything you want to do, Grease unit, do you have anything you want to do?
I work with 7 for a bit. I don't know if otherwise I'll sell my repair service. Or just try and run down some Wonder Glue.
Okay, so, you two step out into the rain. If I can find the right map. And I can't find the right map. Brilliant. Well, I can't find the right map, so you two step out into the rain. It's wet. It's rain. It's hard. It sucks.
Well, before she steps out into the rain, she's going to take off her Wasteland Surgeon's outfit and hang it by the door if there's a coat rack or otherwise. She's going to find a relatively clean spot on the first floor to leave her outfit.
Sundance will proceed to remove his leather armor and what else he's wearing.
Grease is probably just wearing a big floppy hat, shed rain, and work gear. His utility barding is his work suit.
So you step out into the rain. There's one Pegasus seeming to fly patrol, and you can hear 2 talking on the roof. But beyond that, you can't see very far. It's pretty wet and pretty miserable.
Violet's going to kind of step out and around the corner and just begin cleaning up. Just simple shower.
Sundance will also do the same and ask Violet if there's any place which she can't reach and he will assist.
Violet looks over at Sundance and grins. I'm pretty capable of cleaning myself off, thank you. I could ask you the same, but we're both unicorns, so I'm pretty sure I know the answer.
He just gives you a sly smile and says, "I'm gonna blame me for trying."
Yes, but out in public, and it's raining.
Exactly. No one's gonna say.
Just to spite you, James, you hear a wolf whistle from the Pegasus doing the flight patrols.
Yes, yes. Eagle eyes, aren't you?
Well, I mean, it's a Pegasi settlement, so you expect them not to have people keeping eyes out above the settlement?
Yes, I suppose not. Well, worth a try at least.
Unless the weather clears up by midday, I doubt we're going to get any traveling done, and we'll need to impose for one more night.
Yeah.
At mention of the weather, said Pegasus has been doing flies. Decides to drop down. Obviously, being a bit of a show off, he does a little flip before he lands in front of you all, splashing you. In fact, no, hold on. Let me roll for that.
Roll Pegasus magic.
Instead of splashing you, he just falls into the puddle.
I do apologize to everyone. I had to have a major conversation with Geen about the apartment.
Yeah, that's no problem.
At the moment where he splashes down into the puddle, Violet will snicker lightly as she picks him up out of the water and look him over. Well, are you all right?
That did not go as planned.
Clearly.
Well, apart from my ego being bruised, I'm fine.
Let's see. She's not getting that. She's not getting that. She's not getting that. So.
So, what was that about weather clearing up?
Well,
Yes. Do you know exactly how long this weather's gonna last for?
Huh. Give me a minute. He zooms off and goes straight up above the clouds. Comes back after about 5 minutes.
in the interim, Violet will look over at Sundance and go, you know, I do envy them that.
Yes, it's. Would like to be able to do it, but you know, missing set appendages. But yeah, must be nice to actually do that.
Comes back after a couple minutes. It's gonna clear up a bit in, I don't know, a couple of hours. It will still be raining, but it won't be thunder and lightning. About, I don't know, 1 o'clock it will clear up.
Ah, thank you.
Appreciate it. By the way, do you have a way to collect the rainfall for, you know, fresh water?
No, it's in points of weighing up to, I should probably put a token down for it. Essentially a big barrel.
Violet
mean-
nods and looks at the barrel and goes, well, if you happen to have some large tarps, you could probably make a lot better use of that by funneling more liquid into it than just the stray drops that land.
Yeah, most of us know how to shoot. We don't know how to fix the things we have. Unless you've got somebody who knows how to fix things.
Might I point you towards Grease Smear? She's the orange
Covered in grease.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard to miss.
yeah. She knows her shit.
Just a lot of permanent grease stains.
Yeah, she's been tracking grease all through the we're not supposed to call it apartment anymore. We're supposed to call it the hotel. The hotel, anyway.
Well, she shouldn't be. She's generally clean. It's just the stains kind of are permanent. Kind of like how if you had bleach or bleach in a Brex and a black cloth.
Sevens walks out, looks up, and goes, Did you want us to try to do something about the rain?
Oh, no. Well, if we're going to be traveling anywhere today, we probably would prefer to do so under clear skies, but as long as it's not raining cats and dogs and, you know, thunder and lightning, we should be good for our trip to the circle.
We can try and clear
Well-
up some of it.
Violet looks up at the rain barrel and looks at the Pegasus and looks at Sevens and goes, they're going to need as much fresh water as they can get. We can hold off until after lunch. Speaking of which,
I was.
oh, go ahead.
We were more referring to removing the lightning and just letting it rain if they want rainwater.
Violet blinks at 777 and looks at the Pegasus and looks at 777. You can do that?
She looks at the Pegasus. Could we?
Probably, but we tend to just let the lightning go. We don't really look after the weather anymore.
She's a jumbo jet. She can do all kinds of things.
I mean, in theory, it's definitely possible. I've never tried it. I don't know anyone else that's ever tried that. You let me know how that goes, or if you turn into charred flesh, then your friend can let me know how that goes.
Seven shrugs and takes flight.
This gonna be good.
We're gonna cast shield first to shield ourselves from the lightning while we work, and then start working.
Is it a Pegasi trick for that?
Yes,
never
it's
played-
literally a Pegasi trick called Cloud Break.
Oh, I'd never played a Pegasi, so I don't really looked at the tracks.
You can attempt to break storm clouds, but must succeed in an armed skill check to avoid stun damage from electrical discharge.
Okay, sure. I'm assuming it's a flight magic roll.
It's a flight magic
Followed
roll
by
to
your
break
unarmed.
up the clouds.
Okay.
And then it's an unarmed check to avoid getting electrocuted. So Sevens is just going to fly through, specifically look for lightning and storm clouds, and break up one at a time.
Roll perception, you've passed it. It's just to make sure you get every single one. You see all. You break up every single cloud, but you leave plenty enough for rainwater.
Sometimes it's just gonna look very perplexed and be like, "Did you know she could do that?"
I mean, I know it's impossible in theory, but we tend not to touch the clouds because we don't like getting shocked. I think Windsure gets shocked today.
Um,
Oh, okay.
Pip, how many clouds does she have to break up? Because this actually affects how many trick points need to be spent.
That's a good question because I was more Let's roll a d10. Yeah, you roll it. You woke up 6. I will need to review Pegasi tricks because I didn't realise I was going to have to deal with those now. God damn it, Fee, making me learn even more stuff.
You literally created an army of Pegasi, and you're like, I didn't realize I was going to have to deal with Pegasi tricks. There's literally an entire group of Pegasi.
Don't question my logic.
Sevens comes back down and lands, and deactivates the shield.
I like you. I would say you should teach me that, but I really don't want to get shocked. You should teach Windsure that, though, when his wings grow back. You'll fly off into the building and go and looking for grease. Grease.
Yes.
A white Pegasi and an officer cap lands in front of you.
Yes, can I help you?
You're the one we call Grease, right?
You notice the nice orange fur with black splotches here and there. Yes, I'm Grease.
Splendid. You know how to fix things.
Most of the time.
Can you help me fix our water catching system so that it's more efficient?
Shouldn't be hard. All you need is some... Do you have any tarp, plastic, etc.?
We have some tarp that we put around the OPs, but we can take some.
Just peg it one end high, the other two slightly lower, and then have it come down to one spot where the water will drain into.
I think it'll be easier if I just lift you onto the roof and you do it.
Up on the roof. Okay.
So, you game for helping?
Yes.
Brilliant, come with me. Lead you out.
Yay, thanks, Pip. Apparently that does count as learning flight magic.
So, have you... Oh, it's a stupid question. Of course you've never been lifted up by a pegasus. You've never seen a pegasus. Just don't move around too much.
I lower my head, close my eyes.
How much does grease weigh?
Slightly below average size filly.
How much strength does this guy even have? I have it down somewhere.
Is there
shit.
outside?
He
There has to be
definitely
outside
has
access to the roof.
You could go looking for it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Especially if he can't lift me.
Well, hold on a minute. Well, he manages to pull you slightly off the ground, beating his wings as hard as he can, but then he just kind of has to put you down. Nope, sorry.
I go around the building looking for the roof access.
Move your token.
Oh, it's down to that now.
Yes, but there's a good reason for that. Not only does it help me visualize where you're going, I'll also put down things.
Come out, see the other people who have been doing whatever. Bid greeting to the ponies.
Oh, hi, Grace. We're just getting washed up.
Hey, Grace.
Move to the corner. Still looking for a way up.
You find they're pretty rickety, and they're definitely wet and slippery, but you find some metal stairs. I don't know the US term for them, but essentially it's external access, but they're very steep.
It
Yes, we'll go with those.
has to be stairs so ponies can climb them.
So fire escape.
Fire escape essentially.
Remember, Pip, I do understand a lot of the slang terms you and James use.
Fair enough.
I will go up the stairs being very careful, because falling can be hazardous to your health.
Just a little.
But I will,
Seven
like I said,
is
I will
flying
take
around
my
the whole time,
time,
knocking out.
walk up. If it feels very slick, I will take a moment, take an old rag, and wipe the slime off.
Okay. Seeing how you take the time to roll or move the slime, I won't make you roll agility. Yep, you can make your way up safely.
Come up to the roof.
Immediately
See
on
they
your
have a
right.
cistern.
Yeah.
I get a couple of. They probably have. Oh, they got to have different kinds of things just laying around on the roof. I'll grab a couple of poles and start setting up a good rain catch.
In the meantime, you hear a disagreement amongst the Pegasi over here as the officer of them takes one of the tarps and brings it over to you. The other two get closer together under the last tarp they have. Let's do.
Yeah, it'll work fine. Thank you. I'll get this rigged up so you can get plenty of water.
Roll repair mechanics at a -10 because it's pretty wet up here.
No, not barter. And it knows -10.
Awesome, you set up a very efficient rain catch. Game +2 karma.
Ooh. Carmer.
The Pegasi turns. Huh. Maybe you ground pounders aren't so bad after all.
We have our uses, as do you.
That's fair. Your friends were asking when the rain was going to break up. Well, it's still heavy, but there's no more thunder and lightning.
Well, that's nice to not be. Notice it's not thunder and lightning anymore. Don't have to worry about getting hit by a stray bolt from 100 miles away.
You should ask Windshield about that one.
It actually does happen to people at times.
Yeah, it happened to Windshield.
Well, I will scrounge around and see what may or may not be else is on the roof, including cleaning the drain out so that any excess water up here will run off and not puddle and become, well, stagnant and mosquito food.
Roll luck to see what you find. Meanwhile, Blueberry, what are you doing?
As a note, Greasemare, you will notice that the lightning bolts are slowly getting less and less and less. Sorry, Blues.
Glacier?
Oh, Glacier.
Maybe a way of getting fit or something, so we'll come back to him. Up on the roof, you find 4 more scrap metal in the form of scaffolding poles. You find somebody's old lunchbox up here. Contains 1 bottle of wild pegasus and 2 boxes of cram.
2 cram, 4 scrap.
And a bottle of wild pegasus.
And a lunchbox if you really want to carry around a metal lunchbox.
I'll open up and see what's inside the lunchbox.
The wild pegasus and the cram was what was in it.
Oh.
It was more a case of if you want to take it, because I know Violet's been collecting the first aid boxes.
I'll bring it along. 2 cram.
So, Simon Blueberry's not back yet. Okay, so the thunder and lightning has ceased. It's still heavy rain. It's about 10... No, that doesn't make sense. It is about 12:30 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Now, is it raining, pissing real hard, or just spitting?
It's just raining. Enough to travel in, but it certainly won't be fun.
I just realized we don't have any alcohol listed on this sheet. Oh yeah, Mayunda drinks it all.
You guys didn't ask for any of Mayunda's booze. She had all the booze.
Save changes. There we go.
So, lightning's all broken up. It's quite late in the day. You fixed up their system. What are you doing?
Well, assuming that the shower went well, Violet would have stepped back in, shaken the worst off in the nearby bathroom, and then probably dried off with a spare towel.
Sundance would probably do the same.
Aside from that, Violet probably would have gotten dressed and gotten ready to start traveling again after checking on Rain Breeze.
Rainbreeze is actually talking to Thunder right now.
Well, Violet will walk up to the two of them.
Thunder nods his head to you. Violet?
Thunder, Rain Breeze.
What can I do for you?
Well, I was just checking in with, just checking in to make sure that Rain Breeze was going to be okay, and perhaps give her any more advice if she's had to deal with anybody while I was out getting showered.
Rainbees is seemingly very happy, but also seems quite mortified that you've just walked in. She's flushing. No, Rainbreeze is doing great, actually. She spoke very highly of you.
You know what? Considering that she's back in her gear, she looks fucking fabulous.
This is less an attraction thing, more a mentor thing.
Still, she looks fabulous.
She does indeed look fabulous.
She looks at both of them, and yes, I wanted to talk to you about the last patient that we had, as well as she takes a seat on the bed nearby, as well as what Rainbreeze's position in the clinic is going to be, and how stressful it can be to basically be the only pony on call for healing and helping out. I was going to suggest, probably, untenable, but I was going to be suggest that Rain Breeze be removed from any and all guard shifts, simply as she is going to be the only person capable of taking care of the various people coming through, and that can mean lots and lots of long hours.
Nods, scratches his chin with a wing. That makes sense. Can't fault your logic. Does mean we're, a set of wings down, but I'm sure we can manage.
And considering that she is a member of the settlement, should the worst come to the worst, she can still do what needs to be done to help defend, but realistically, the majority of her attention should be spent on learning how to better help those in need, and if at all possible, I'm going to do my best to divert any medical books or help your way so that she can get a better understanding of medicine. Because, not gonna lie, you guys are gonna need it. The wasteland isn't, it's better than it was, but it's still not a friendly place.
He shrugs a little and kind of shifts his wings. I mean, yes, it can be dangerous, but I trust in the strength of the Pegasi here. That being said, I will take your advice and I will take care of guard duties.
Much appreciated. With that, unfortunately, my friends and I still have a job that needs to be done, and I hope you don't mind too terribly, but unless you can guarantee me that you're taking care of Thunder and the others that left, we're going to be reporting them to the regulators.
Could you repeat that? I missed part of that.
I said, unless you can guarantee that Thunder and his compatriots are going to be dealt with, we are going to have to report them to the regulators as potential threats to the wasteland.
He sort of awkwardly puts his wing behind his back of his head and rubs it at his neck. I mean, I want to say that lightning won't be a problem, but he's also pig-headed stubborn. And I didn't send anybody after him because I didn't really want to, kill my own brother.
And that's fair. family is as family is, but tell you what, we've got to stop at the circle. We're probably going to stop at the library on the way.
He looks perplexed. The library's here. Unless you're talking about a different library. We've got a library.
No, I was talking about the library here. We were going to check it out and then be on our way to the circle. We'll be stopping back through on our way back from the circle to Ashtown to let people know that this location is here and that it's a safe haven. That you guys will open the door to those who are willing to put up the caps for a night's worth of, rest in a clean room. And we will be spreading the word, but on the return trip, if lightning hasn't come back or been dealt with, when I get to Ashtown, my friends and I will be reporting them to the regulators, and the regulators will take care of Thunder and
Lightning. It's lightning, not thunder.
sorry, we'll take care of Lightning and his friends. Is that agreeable?
Can't say I terribly like it, but I don't think I have much of a choice.
Well, if you don't want us to, I'll refrain, but if he becomes a problem, my hooves will be tied.
That's fair.
All right. So, with that bit of unpleasantness dealt with, I was going to ask if you would care to join my friends and I for a spot of lunch. It's nothing fancy, but it's better than eating alone.
If you don't mind waiting, I can get someone to cook us up something good.
Sounds like a plan. Violet nods, steps over to Rainbreeze. All right. So, as long as you keep making some fresh bandages and keep making some more magical bandages with the supplies that you've got, then I think you should be in good shape. Just don't hesitate to request anything that you think you might need, especially for some injuries, you may need medics. Unfortunately, I don't have any of that to spare. So, the first caravan that comes through might not pay in caps for their stay here. They may be paying in food and medical supplies. And I'm going to let Thunder know the same. But aside from that, I wish you the best of luck, and don't hesitate to do plenty of studying, because you're going to have a lot of free time now.
Thank you. It was Violet, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Thank you, Violet. I'll make you proud. I hope.
Well, here's hoping that you don't have to work too hard. And she steps towards the door, and is there anything you need from me before, well, we leave?
I mean, I wish you could have more teaching time, but I understand you've got things to do.
I'll do my best to see if I can't send an old friend and mentor of mine your way. She's traveling with a caravan, but it looks like she's got an apprentice at the moment. If he ends up actually being a capable doctor, she might end up having some free time, and I'm going to tell you right now, she's a little rough around the edges. If you think that my bedside manner is a little rough, I learned it from her. Violet nods and steps out the door.
So, Glacier.
Hmm?
Everybody's disappeared for a while. They've all came back. They're all pretty wet. They've obviously been out in the rain. The thunder and lightning seems to have stopped, and you can smell something cooking. Violet's just came out from down the hall.
I guess I'm going to go see what's cooking.
Okay. You can tell it's coming from down here.
From where?
It's from down here. You come in, you see Thunder there, and you see two Pegasi mares arguing with each other over a pot. So I'm putting them off the bed, they shouldn't be on the bed. Two of them arguing over a pot that's cooking. You can smell that it's some sort of soup. Well, you can see that it's some sort of soup. They seem to be arguing about how much of something to put in, while Thunder is just telling them to hurry up. They don't seem to notice you coming in yet.
Uh, uh, I guess I ask what's cooking.
They all turn and look to you. Thunder speaks up. Oh, hi. What are you doing in the room? What are you doing here? Can I help?
I'm just looking around.
I mean, we're about to have lunch before you and your friends leave.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not sure what my character should be doing because everything seems to be handled.
Well, if you don't want to do anything, then just say you're not doing anything, it's fine.
You're watching it rain.
Okay, unless everybody wants to do anything.
Well, Violet's going to make sure to collect all of her gear and get ready for lunch.
So if you all want to just move your tokens to where you had your meeting.
Sevens is still standing at the door to get in. She looks very confused and soaking wet.
She's not aware of how doors work.
No, it's something else entirely different.
After a while, one of the Pegasi is coming over to take his shift. He opens the door and just looks at the large purple alicorn. He actually shrinks a little from your presence. Hi?
Hi, do you have a towel, or do we just come in soaking wet? We are confused about the etiquette.
Sure, give me a moment. He flies off. Goes into the doctor's office. Comes back with a towel.
She steps in and dries herself off. She's literally been standing outside, not sure if she's supposed to come in soaking wet or not, and everyone else had already gone in.
He opens his mouth to say something for a minute and then just bolts.
Blinks and confused alicorn? Thank you?
You're welcome, bye.
That was it. That was the whole reason why she was standing outside. She didn't know if she was supposed to come in soaking wet or not.
Thunder comes and finds you. He's went and grabbed everybody else, taking them to have lunch. Oh, I was looking for you. Where were you?
Outside?
Why? It's pouring rain.
Well, we decided to help get rid of the lightning bolts, and then we were unsure if we were supposed to come in soaking wet or not.
There should have been towels lying outside in the doorway. Should have been anyway. Next time, just come in and ask. Don't stand out in the wet and cold. Anyway, we're preparing lunch. Do you things even eat?
Is it radioactive?
I don't think so. We don't do well with radioactive food.
Then we will sit and eat and talk.
You just arches an eyebrow. You're a weird one.
This all seems perfectly normal to her. She just shrugs.
As if on cue, you see behind them somebody walking with a saucepan balanced on their back. With towels so they don't get burned, obviously. And they make their way in. He motions with a wing. So if you would like to join us...
Question: alicorns live off of radiation, correct?
heal from it.
They
Okay,
heal
they
from
heal.
it. She still has to eat and drink, but she definitely prefers to eat and drink things that are radioactive.
Like cram and dirty water?
Yes.
So the saucepan gets put on the table. Bowls are prepared for everybody. The other Pegasus mare sits down. So, thank you everyone for helping us make a town out of this place.
Well, it smiles and nods. Not a problem.
It was a pleasure to help you.
Well, at this point you can't stick around for longer, but I understand you've got business.
Yes, unfortunately we do have prior obligations, but I assure you we will be stopping by from time to time just to give you a helping hand should you require it.
The mayor pipes up. Not to be rude and ask the guests to serve their own plates, but you have horns that would make life easier.
Most
Well-
certainly. And both Violet and myself will assist in dishing out the bowls and the food.
Agreed.
Why, Tom, did you actually pass 7 something radioactive to eat?
I was going to offer her some cram, and I think we have dirty water. It's mildly radioactive.
Now I just have this vision of Seven pouring the filthy water into her soup.
Yes!
So as you're all sitting there dishing out the food and you're sitting down to eat and you're all laughing and chatting away and everything's quite merry, you all look and you just see Seven's pouring filthy water into her soup.
Well, it's irradiated.
No, it's dirty. It literally is called dirty.
Well, it's called
There's-
dirty water because it's full of rats.
Yeah, it's called dirty water because it's irradiated, not because it's actually dirty.
So, it glows a little bit.
It's basically heavy water.
See, that would just be the term we would use. Okay, you pour heavy water into it because fuck you, I'm using my terms.
Everyone just sees Seven heating up heavy, dirty water and pouring it in.
Violet shrugs and just lets it happen because, well, I mean, she's not gonna object.
Sundance is just gonna shrug and be like, "Eh," and just continue eating.
The Pegasi is going to just move her chair ever so slightly to the right.
Sevens will look up and look very bothered at this.
Why are you pouring heavy water into your meal?
Oh, radiation tastes good?
Both Pegasi look at you completely disturbed.
I
Uh,
think that it would be the same as you putting salt or pepper.
Blueberry's gonna pipe up and say, she's an alicorn. They get stronger through radiation.
Yeah, we've not been down here that long, remember. That's weird. Okay. Thunder just seems to shrug it off, but the other one still seems a little upset.
Especially when she dices cram up and puts it in the soup also.
So, unless anybody wants to declare anything.
Nope. Enjoy the meal and prepare to move on.
Exactly, yep. Just enjoying the meal.
So what we'll do is we'll take 5 minutes here, and when we come back, we will start with you getting on the road.
Sounds good.
And I will be back after I get Jenny from work with whatever she needs done. I think
That's
we
fair.
need to go by our internet.
So, 5 minutes from now.
So I started the recording again. You're trying to throw us a bone now?
We
Take
are,
that how you want.
we are checking at the library here, aren't we?
Well, that's the next question. What are you doing next? Are you going straight to the circle, or are you going to check the library in town, or are you going to do something else?
Well, considering that the mayor, who happens to be the de facto doctor of the town, has at best a rudimentary understanding of medicine, at the very least I wanted to check out the library and see if they had some medical manuals.
Okay, let me just throw up my map.
And Sundance would equally be interested in checking the library for anything historical and the like.
Sevens will pour through books for days unless someone stops her. She is super happy about going to a library for some reason.
So, if you want to just throw your tokens down at the left-hand side entrance. And also, I'm going to ruin all your days. Because I had to delete everything off this map because originally I had thought you were all going to get into massive fight, but you didn't, so I'm just throwing some stuff.
Well, we could still have the massive fight at the library. I mean, just to be honest
No,
with you,
in town.
to be honest with you about American libraries, most of them were built in the 60s and onward, and up until 2004, the U.S. Federal Education Board required any educational building, including libraries, to be capable of withstanding a nuclear blast from less than a mile away.
I didn't know that.
That's why our universities, particularly our modern universities that were built pre-2004, you'll notice the buildings are all brick and have like a kind of airlock entryway where you walk through one door and there's another door behind it, so they have that double door area, that's because that's how thick the walls are. This was something entertaining about the University of Delaware, was because they, to make the buildings look the same at that point, they had to keep the same building code post 2004. So even the newer buildings were still double entryway doors with, you know, almost 3 foot thick walls.
Oh god, that looks all stretched and weird.
That's
Oh well.
that's a big desk.
It's not supposed to be that big, but it doesn't look right when it's stretched out. Hold on, I may have it.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, that looks good.
That wasn't working at first.
And now copy paste the shit out of it.
See, I regret deleting everything because I did have some things prepared that I wanted to keep, and now I don't have them anymore. So, I'm going to be adding stuff, but I will throw down tokens so you can at least start on here. So, you come to the library. It's still pretty wet, still pretty miserable, but you know you can travel in it. It's not too bad. The seems to be open. There doesn't seem to be anything patrolling at the moment, or at least if they are, they're above the cloud level.
What does the exterior of the building look like? Any graffiti? Any designed to intimidate or repel anybody coming in?
No, as far as you can tell, the Pegasi have reoccupied this building.
Huh.
Sorry, I know I'm not giving a good description. That's because I deleted half of my stuff and I'm trying to put it all back together at the same time.
No worries. So it just looks like your standard everyday library.
Yep,
I'll
it's got
approach the door and knock soundly on it.
the one thing you do notice is it has got something of a flourish in that it has a large dome. But other than that, it's just a squat building, really. The dome seems to be the only artistic flourish.
All right.
After a couple of minutes, you hear the door click and the lock comes undone. And in front of you is a Pegasi. She's grey coat, brown mane with a seems to be a purple highlight through it. And instead of wearing any armor, she's wearing a hoodie.
Hello.
She scowls. What do you want?
Well, we were wondering if we would have access to the library and do some looking around. The settlement nearby said that there were still books here, and, well, their doctor could use some medical manuals.
What, Thunder sent you?
Yes.
Ah, God. Fine, you can come in. Just don't touch my stuff. She
Well,
opens the door and lets you in.
There are incredibly happy alicorn horse noises.
There is a very angry glare shot at Happy Alicorn.
My mouse is acting weird. Great. I have to buy a new mouse.
She looks at the Pegasi confused. But books are fun.
And it's a library, so shush.
Bites her lower lip and looks very, very scolded like a 3-year-old.
Violet steps over and pats 777 on the side, and it looks at the Pegasus. Do give, but while this may be a library, it's also been 200 years since it's had regular usage. So if we forget some of the rules, well, give us a little bit of leeway.
Fine. fine. Just don't ruin my studies and don't go into the back rooms.
What's in the back rooms?
I don't know. I just get told I'm not allowed in there, so that means you're not allowed in there.
Who told you that you're not allowed back there?
Thunder.
If it's anything dangerous, maybe we could help you with that?
She shrugs. I'm going back to my
She's
studies.
going straight for it, isn't she?
Unless someone says something.
No, Violet's actually joining 777. If we can
Oh.
make the library safer, people are more inclined to use it, and she's all about spreading intelligence.
I'm the tank, so I guess I'll follow.
Does she notice or say anything, or do we just like walk right past her and jet past her?
Put it this way, she's moody, angsty teen, and she just wants to read her books.
So where are these back rooms?
The ones M14, M12, M11, M10, M9, M8.
7 is going to try the M10 door.
Door opens perfectly fine.
She peeks her head in.
Yeah, a machine gun starts firing at you straight away. Roll agility.
Did she see what was firing the machine gun?
No, but you have an opportunity to either put up a shield or step back, your choice.
This is 7's. She doesn't understand the concept of dodge. She will try to shield.
Roll arcane magic. Splendid, a shield goes up and you look inside. You see a 308 machine gun turret just shooting at your shield. Let me roll its damage. Hold on, how does this work?
Let's get the shield HP.
Okay, sorry.
Shield HP is +1 potency, so shield DT is 10
What's this rate?
plus
5?
12, 22. Shield
3.
HP is 6, 7, 7. Wait, is it 6? Yeah, potency 6.
Odds it's 1 shot, evens it's 2 shot, yeah?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. And it would be body, right wing, or it would be body, right wing, and on 7's, I think that's a leg for the 70. No, 72 becomes 27. That would be 3 body and 2 wing. Not that it matters. It all bounces off the shield.
It says 308, that is not high enough damage for 308. That's something wrong in the book.
Oh,
That's like 556, I think. Okay.
yeah, because turrets don't use 308. They
It
use
says...
Yeah, you just rolled a 5.56 machine gun. A 308 machine gun is
Yeah, but
25.
in the book it says attacks, 308 machine gun, firearm attack, blah 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 blah, deals 15 damage, so it's something wrong in the book. That's fine though, it makes no differences for my purposes. Your shield is a DT of 24. This is something I've never had happen. What happens if your DT matches the damage? You take no
It bounces.
damage?
It
It
bounces.
bounces? Okay. I've never had that happen before. That one bounces, that one bounces. They all bounce. So you just stand there as the machine gun goes brrrt.
No,
And just it bounces.
I'm looking at the book right now. Light machine gun is 15 plus 1 die. 308 is 25 plus 1 die on page 85.
However,
No, I'm looking in the bestiary and it doesn't matter. It's something wrong in the book, it's fine.
Okay.
So anyway, the machine gun just plinks off you. Everybody but Sevens, you get a reaction.
Not like my action's gonna be able to do much.
You can freely pass through. Blueberry can freely pass through any allied square.
Yeah.
Because of Bond of Friendship, you can freely pass through 777's shield.
Also, I'll give you a better representation of the door because the map is not very good. That's closer to what the door is actually like. I'll do that for all of them.
So,
So
Glacier,
it's a university door.
you can freely pass through her shield, and you can freely pass through any allied square.
Sundance is going to move to the opposite side of the door. And then fire 2 shots at the turret with his laser rifle.
Are you putting the laser rifle through the shield before you pull the trigger?
Oh yes, I'm doing that, yeah.
Because laser shots and bullets are not considered friends.
But bullets are my friends.
I'm also planning 10 AP to aim.
Awesome. You hit it, and you hear a fizzle, and the machinery or the casing cracks a little.
Okay, I will do that again.
Sorry, I said free reaction. I meant free turn. I should have said.
So that gives me more options.
Yeah, sorry.
Because free
Just
reaction, you
remember.
have to move or attack.
Yeah, I know.
Meanwhile,
Oh, hey, consistency.
Yeah, I'm being pretty consistent right now.
yeah. Meanwhile, Violet's turn is going to be spent quickly looking for an administrator's terminal.
And I got 5 AP left, and I'll put that into dodge, and that's my turn.
I'll 1 second. I'll let you get to the administrator the terminal in a minute because there is one quite obviously visible.
So what does the extra 42 damage do to it?
The metal warps and there's now some smoke coming off of it, but it's still in wrap to the shield.
Well, that's my turn over. I've put the last 5 points into dodge.
So it's still able to fire?
Yeah, it's still alive, barely.
How about now?
Holy shit!
Well, that's
up.
That's a crit.
that's wait, they're twin linked.
Yes.
So is that their damage combined or separate already?
Combined. Because it doesn't have an option for rolling a weapon multiple times
Yeah, it does. You just change the rate of fire.
on one.
Regardless, it's dead. With a crack,
Well,
a fizzle in the
well.
pocket, it bursts.
Twin linked means that they fire and you stack their damage anyway. So that's 66. Ow. Yeah, I'll show you if you change the rate of fire to 2.
So it cracks and it pops.
Oh, I should have rolled it twice. Huh, sorry.
See what I mean?
I see what you mean.
I may drop that as a,
Bug fix.
yeah.
Dropping it, I just dropped it to Miski.
Oh, okay.
With the machine gun destroyed, 7 lowers her shield and checks around to make sure there's not another machine gun.
So Violet, as you go to the terminal, also there's no other machine gun present 7. You see that the Pegasi is hiding under the desk,
It was just a turret, don't worry.
but there was shooting.
Yes. Automated turret, it wasn't anything alive.
Why did you go back there? I told you not to.
Well, if there was something dangerous back there, and it decided to break out, we wanted to make sure that you'd be safe from it. I.e., we were going to kill it.
Yeah, but we already cleared this place. We set the turrets so they'd be friendly to us.
Well, then, you could have said that the turrets were. You know what? Never mind. Violet accesses the terminal.
It's completely unlocked. They haven't bothered with any security because they didn't predict anybody would be coming.
She finds the turret functions and disables them.
The Pegasi comes over and looks and pouts. Why are you turning them off?
Because there could be valuable information in those offices. And to be completely fair, if you, I don't know, had a rowdy night and decided that, hey, I'm going to go look at those offices and forgot to turn them off, well, you'd be a smear on the wall right now.
She is pouting. She is very unhappy.
We'll turn them back on when we leave.
Fine. Thunder's gonna yell at me now.
No, Thunder can yell at us. Because, well, realistically, the reason we were even here and talking to Thunder in the first place is because we didn't feel like killing everyone. We actually wanted to talk things out. So,
She looks positively mortified. Why would you kill anyone?
because Thunder and the people with him had been raiding the local caravans.
No, they hadn't.
Yes, they had.
She just refuses to believe you. No, they didn't. They wouldn't do anything like that.
Look, believe what you want, but the reason that we were sent out here in the first place, and the reason that you and I are even talking, is because somebody had been raiding the local caravans rather than paying for goods and services. They were killing whoever they felt like and taking what they wanted. I can, take you along with us and show you the bodies that we buried that were strung up with signs saying, "Leave us alone," that pointed directly to the settlement.
She turns a little greener in the gills at the thought of that. I don't believe you.
And
Lightning wouldn't do anything like that.
she looks at the Pegasus and she shakes her head and tries to get it through her head as best as she can. Look, there are people in this world that feel that they're entitled to something. And from my limited interactions with Lightning, if he doesn't have to work too hard or, actually have to put in any effort whatsoever, he's happy. He's hunky-dory. He's great. But if it's not Pegasus, well, their lives don't matter. Hate to burst your bubble, hun, but the wasteland, the general populace, aren't going to stand for that. And considering his reaction to my suggestion that Thunder and the others staying in the settlement open their doors to the caravans and make it a safe haven for all Pegasi, as well as opening the doors to the caravans as a place of rest so that they can get food and water and caps to survive down here. His reaction was to storm out in a huff and take 4 of his cronies with him. The rest of them have actually stood up and started making the place eminently livable. They were even welcoming enough to us to let us spend the night unmolested.
She scowls, thinks about that.
If you want to double check my story, by all means, check in with Thunder. We told him we'd be stopping here. He gave us the okay. And we would have checked in with Thunder if, we told him that we were coming out here before we went to the circle.
I'll be back. She bolts. Going to verify this story.
Violet steps towards the doorway. All right, I turned the rest of them off.
Jumping back to everybody else.
So, apparently, 777 is pouring through the bookshelves, and any book she finds that is intact, she's taking. Doesn't matter if it's a children's story or a medical dictionary.
Sundance is looking for history and medical books, and it will also salvage that destroyed turret.
So this is a library. They have sorting systems. You can find what you're looking for fairly easily. That being said, you find 2 scrap electronics, 1 scrap metal, and hold on, I'll give you how much ammo.
Can the 308s be salvaged?
No, it's 556. There was something wrong in the book when I read it.
Okay, can the
You found 11 556 rounds.
can the guns be salvaged?
No.
Okay.
So, we just get 11,556 and scrap metal and scrap electronics.
Yup.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, no, you've got books as well. Sorry, I thought you meant just from the scrapping of the turret. Yes, you find... there's no history books in this room, unfortunately. You have found the full section.
Well, your options for books are to give us what are titled basically pre-war books, which just have stories and.
Yeah, basically you
novels
found a
and
bunch of pre-war. You've found a bunch of pre-war stories or pre-war books.
The other type of books are skill books. You tell us what skill they're assigned to, and if they're pre-Ministry of Morale or post-Ministry of Morale.
Yeah, this specific room you found pre-war books. Let me roll. You found 8 that are in readable condition. So do you only search this room or do you go elsewhere?
We'll search the other rooms as well.
Sevens will let Blueberry and Sundance take the lead because she did not enjoy being shot at.
We'll open the door and search this room first.
Where did that thing go? Why can't I find it all now? Turret's deactivated. Everybody roll me luck as you search the rooms.
Ooh, turret's deactivated. They might be able to retrieve the whole turret.
You indeed could if you wanted to do that.
All right, what did I miss?
We distinctly lack this thing called luck, unless Blueberry's going to prove us wrong.
Holy shit.
The Steel Ranger might know what he's doing.
At 6 degrees of success.
I mean, despite being illiterate, he is a Steel Ranger.
Strategy playing something out. So, let me just roll a 1d10 real quick. So, Sevens, you find 4 pre-war books. Again, just stories, nothing in them that is going to be useful to you. Sundance, you find 1 Wonder Glue and a bottle of dirty water.
Gives the dirty water to 7 and holds onto the Wonder Glue for Grease.
Meanwhile, you, Blueberry, you pull out the one book that's turned the opposite way, so it's not got its spine outwards, and you find a book that is a practical skill book, post-ministry. Bless you, whoever that was. That's no problem. That increases your survivalism and traps. So +3 to survivalism and traps, anybody who reads it.
Which won't be me. I just look at the book and like, this looks important.
Yes.
What you need to roll to dismantle the turret?
Okay, mechanics.
I have a 19. Let's see how this goes. Nope.
I mean, I could try and help. Can't be much worse.
I will roll for Tom.
I was proven wrong.
So Greasemear comes in, sees all you fucking up, just tells you, just go and search the next room, stands up on the table and gets her screwdriver out and pulls it apart.
Roll luck again.
Roll luck again.
Damn.
That is 1 degree of success.
You found a magazine. I don't know what you would call the magazine for improving your skills in sneak, but you found a magazine for sneak.
If I remember correctly, in Fallout 3, the book was
La Phantom or something like that?
Le Phantom.
The temporary one, I said magazine.
La Fantoma. But considering it's Pinkie Pie, it would be it would be a brief introduction to surprise parties.
A brief introduction to surprise parties.
Yes.
And how long does
Or
it read it?
oh. Surprise parties for eggheads.
Yep. And what's the bonus for it?
That's a one-time temporary 10 plus to the associated skill, so 10 plus to sneak.
for an hour. So Sevens will tuck that in with the Philly Scout Handbook and the pre-war books. She's more than happy to carry a bunch of books for some reason.
Okay, proceeding to move to M6 and search there. Again, 1 degree of success.
You find 2 bottles of beer and a packet of cigarettes.
2
On the
degrees of
money.
success.
Blueberry, you find 24. I don't know what you'd call it. 24 charges, bullets. I don't know for a new rifle.
So it would be 24
Microfusion cells.
magical fission cells. Yeah.
Yeah, you find 24 of those. Meanwhile, you Sevens, you find a pound of bacon. Obviously, one of the Pegasi likes are meat.
Sevens holds up a pound of bacon and looks very confused at it.
It needs more radiation.
It appears somebody likes a little slice on the side, huh?
We now have 2 family-sized freeze-dried bacon. Yoink! You're just yoinking the bacon.
Yep. So, Sundance, as you're putting away the beer and cigarettes, you just look up and see the very large earth pony just steal out of the magic of the very large alicorn the pound of bacon.
You could have just asked for that.
We don't have any interest in non-irradiated meat.
Still,
It was faster to just grab.
Still, but he could have just politely asked instead of just grabbing. Matters don't cost you anything, you know.
And he walks to go ahead down the other way.
If you
Idea.
got loot and you're not keeping it, just add it to the loot list, and we'll assume that Sevens is carrying it since she has, or Blueberry's carrying it.
Sundance will look to Sam and go, I apologize for his behavior. Apparently manners doesn't exactly run in his family.
Oh, it's okay. We've had worse.
Lowers his head and
Out of character, actually, it's
Kind of
more
agrees.
along the lines of she's an alicorn and he's still not used to dealing with alicorns in non-hostile ways.
moves to M5 and searches.
M5, we moved to 11.
He's-
Oh, right, there's another room.
Yeah, but that's not the back. That's a room that we would have been given access to. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
She follows Blueberry. She actually asks him as they get to the door, why are you so interested in bacon?
It's surprisingly tasty.
Right. I'm searching M12.
So, Blueberry, as
Yeah.
you go to search a room, you find that one of the panels in the bookshelf is, or sorry, one of the books is hanging slightly out of the shelf. You touch it, and a small panel opens up at the bottom.
Okay. I check the pan.
You find a Geiger counter.
Oh, hey, something of use.
A working Geiger counter.
And unit, you find one Sparkle Cola Rad, one normal Sparkle Cola, and Fancy Buck snack cakes.
I point the Geiger counter at the Yalicorn.
It clicks faintly.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Why does it click at us?
Radiation.
And you said Sparkle Cola Rad, Sparkle Cola, and what? Pip,
Sorry?
you said Sparkle Cola Rad, Sparkle Cola, and what?
Pardon me, fancy buck snack cakes. Violet, what are you up to?
Violet is waiting for the angsty pony to return.
Sundown searched M12 and passed on the nose.
I'll cut you off now. She won't be coming back for a while. To save you waiting.
Violet will continue to wait for her to come back. Like that's the one thing. She's gonna do the smart thing. She's going to wait.
Okay. That is acceptable. In M12 you find... You find more pre-war books. The roll D10.
So, if it is clicking at us, it is good thing for us and bad for you.
To put it simply, yes. Well, for most.
Did you want to take apart the turret?
I'm not too good at mechanics. That'd be better left for Greece.
She shrugs and then nods in agreement and follows him.
Goes to M12 to help look.
As a note, she follows him with a lack of personal space.
Well, and he hurries faster. Like, he walks faster.
She's taking a phone call, so I will jump back to Violet. So, your friends have been gone for a little while. You can hear them breaking and stuff and throwing stuff around as they go around and search. And eventually the angsty Pegasus comes back with thunder in tow. If I can find his token.
Thunder.
Violet? What can I do you with, Flutter's telling me that, you went and disabled the security.
Yes, for the duration of our search of the library for relevant materials.
Okay, she turns to Flutter. Flutter, why didn't you just offer to turn off security? Because they're mud ponies. You see him visibly face hoof. Oh boy. He turns back to you. I am very sorry.
No worries. I've dealt with worse.
No, she was closer to lightning than she was to me, so she butts in. It's because he's better than you. As I was saying, she was closer to him, so she's going to be adjusting.
Well, allow me to throw my 2 cents in. Dear, if it were up to me, the next town I stop in, the regulators would be after Dear Lightning for being a raider. And probably one of the most dangerous raiders out there. And being a Pegasus means that he's got a lot of mobility. So the likely thing that would happen would be they would mobilize griffins after him. And well, some griffins haven't forgotten the taste of pony meat.
I apologize. I got a phone call. So
That's
back.
no problem.
Anyway,
worries.
yeah, Sevens apparently completely screws this up and follows Blueberry way too close.
In which Blueberry walks faster.
I'll come back to our looting party. I'm going to finish with Dodger at the moment.
Look, I want you guys to succeed just as much as anybody else should want. But for the time being, I'm going to withhold my judgment of Lightning and my report to the regulators. If he turns his act around, then fine. But I am going to say this. If me and my friends meet Lightning anywhere on the way to the circle, well, if they shoot first, we won't hesitate to put him down. Because, unlike Thunder here, he's unwilling to adapt to what the wasteland is. And that is work together and survive, work apart and die.
She actually does the physical embodiment of a harumph. She becomes the physical embodiment of harumphing. Turns to thunder. You're just spineless. She storms off.
And you're a petulant cunt.
What did you say to me?
Violet steps around the side of the counter. I said, you're a petulant cunt. Because you don't seem to understand that your very survival in this world depends on the fact that you either work with everybody who's stuck down here just like you are, or you go back above the clouds and deal with the fact that you can't produce enough food. You have to limit the number of people that you create. You have to deal with the fact that, oh yeah, you're probably never going to get dicked in your entire life. So drop the attitude, learn to survive down here, and be better. Or have everybody treat you like a petulant cunt.
Out of character, damn it, Azio, you savage. Sorry.
Violet has had it with her fucking dude.
She is the most petulant, whiny teenager. That is her whole shtick. Anyway, after you call her a petulant cunt again, she spits at you. Let me roll to see if she managed to hit you.
Alright, hold on.
I'm rolling it under charisma.
Violet actually passes her agility check. And now,
You hear thunder sighing.
nope, she doesn't catch it and throw it back in her face, but
You hear thunder sighing at this point. Flitter, you really don't want to do this. It's not my fault, she's just inferior. Mud ponies don't know shit.
hold on. Let's see how much of this Violet has had enough of. She's apparently willing to take a little bit more.
I feel like there should be a penalty to that willpower.
Actually,
She just got
yeah,
spit at.
I feel like we might be able to hear the shouting at this point.
Yeah, they're shouting each other, so you can hear it.
Oh no, Violet isn't shouting. She's being very even-toned about the whole 9 yards.
Okay, roll perception.
Oh, okay.
She's declaring that she's not going to yell, so that's fair.
Yeah.
7 is oblivious as usual.
Blueberry turns around and bumps into 7 like hardcore.
So,
And then walks around her.
Blueberry, you can hear talking in the main lobby. Sundance, you can't hear shit. 7, you're honestly convinced for a minute that you can hear the goddess again.
7s will follow Blueberry back out to the main lobby, like a lost puppy. Do we walk in right as that he says they're inferior?
Yeah, no, you walk in as the spit is thrown.
What exactly is going on here?
She seems to follow Enlightening's method of thinking, and will unlikely, but possibly grow out of it.
Which
I
one?
can read.
Which one called us all inferior?
Violet points at her.
Welcome to the
No, that was out of character. In character. So,
Ian,
7s will walk right up to her and stand up to her full height and spread her wings halfway out and go, "Who is inferior?"
so we had the same idea, I just don't have wings.
That makes it even better.
All those wandering sons.
Let me roll.
and meanwhile, Violet is just sitting there simmering as her tail is blazing away.
As usual, but a little worse.
Oh no. Usually you can see her tail through it. Now it's just kind of a flickering inferno behind her. It's been steadily growing as she's been talking.
At this point, Thunder intercedes himself between you and Flitter. Look, I really, really am sorry about this, but please don't, melt her.
Oh, I wasn't going to hurt her. I was just going to teach her a lesson.
And she failed her willpower. She is now tail tucked between her legs, ears flopped down, and wings ready to bolt.
Looks like the lesson was learned.
7 will go stand behind her and nudge her towards Violet.
And that's another fail. As you go behind her, she bolts. She takes wing and jumps into the air and goes and tries to get away.
What is the
Because
roll?
you're freaky.
Hold on. What is the roll to physically grab her for this? 7s is actually pissed.
With magic or with your physical form?
Physical.
Agility.
Or unarmed for a grapple check.
Is it a grapple or is it to just keep hold of her? Or is it to get a tail?
It's an
or what's
actual
it to do?
grab and pin her to the ground.
Roll me on that.
She's size 0, right?
Yeah, she's normal sized. She's the petulant teenager. Oh god, I don't even think it's physically possible for her to beat it, but let's see what happens.
I succeed in tagging her. Now we do an opposed strength roll, which is I roll d10 plus strength, she rolls d10 plus strength.
She physically can't beat that.
And with size modifier, I have a 16.
Yeah, she physically can't beat that. 1d10 plus 3.
Hey, if she critically, if she rolls,
If she rolls a 10, she beats me automatically. She can crit it. Well,
Wow.
fuck.
she worms out of the grapple, and Violet looks at all of them and goes, "All right, stop."
Sevens looks genuinely hurt and goes, but she insulted you and she needed to apologize. Right?
I will
Blueberry
do
looks at
whatever-
Seven. Blueberry looks at Seven and just says, I think she got the point.
Violet steps over to the desk, puts a bookmark in Flutter's book, closes it, and floats it back over. Look, I get it. You grew up somewhere where we were the inferior species. We were down on the ground while you were up in the sky, okay? Yeah, fine, great, wonderful. But now you have to live with us. And no matter how you look at it, we outnumber you. If you start making a problem for everybody around you, the wasteland will put you in the ground. I'm trying to help you. Now, don't hesitate, sit on back down, read your book. But if you drop the attitude and start treating us like you would the rest of your friends, we might have some interesting things to offer you if you're just willing to listen. At that, she'll walk away around, check the terminal, and she'll see if there's an administrative password that's, would lock the computer out and that she could use to get back into it so that petulant teenager couldn't turn the turrets back on while we were looking through stuff.
I'm going to intercede in that. At this point, after you go back to the terminal, Thunder turns to her, points his wing to the door. Home, now.
Violet looks over at Thunder. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. And she'll step towards the back.
Thoroughly chastised, said Pegasus leaves and goes home.
She still has her book, and Violet saved the page for her. Sevens,
Oh, yeah.
you want to say something?
We're sorry, we overreacted. She hangs
No.
her head and looks like a beat up puppy.
Violet steps over and hugs Sevens. Thank you for being willing to stand up for me.
Thunder is looking profoundly awkward at the moment. I am sorry.
Thunder, you don't need to apologize.
No, but it gives us a bad reputation if there's one of us like that. We all seem like that.
Well, it's a good thing that there are some of us that are a little bit more open-minded. She looks up at Seven.
What?
Well, you've been willing to work with pretty much anybody.
We are terrified of being alone and we no longer have the voices of the others. Yes, we will work with anyone who will tolerate our incompetence.
I wouldn't say incompetence. You're good at what you know. And you're learning. She looks back to Thunder. To be fair, if any of my party, my friends, she corrects herself. If any of my friends were Pegasi, that might have made this a little easier to work with. But for the longest time, a Pegasus with a proper cutie mark was rare.
For the longest time, we all thought that what was below us was nothing, just disease-riddled and full of ignorant savages. I guess there's a lot of learning for both.
Yeah. But I would probably recommend that Flitter get paired with somebody who can keep her attitude in check?
Probably best put with River Breeze, seeing as how she seemed to take a shining to you.
You know what? And being willing to heal anybody, not just Pegasi, would probably give her a better understanding of the various peoples that are still civilized.
I don't suppose you have any machines you could give her to work on while she's in there. She's technical minded.
Well,
I'm back.
welcome back, Tom. I don't know that we have any machines for her to work on, but before we turned off the system, we had to stop one of the turrets, and it's not in the best of shape.
You found it this a little bit. I thought she set the IFF to tag passive.
We opened the door and it fired on us. Lucky we have a very potent shield.
I'll speak to her about it at dinner.
You may need your help.
From what she said, she did set it to passive for Pegasi.
And considering you points to 7, you have a horn that is going to detect first. It probably didn't detect you as Pegasus.
If you want, I can go ahead and change the programming back to its traditional IFF signatures.
Did she set the turrets to be racist?
Yes.
I hope not, but let's find out. And with that, I'm going to jump back to James because he's been sitting waiting patiently.
That's okay. He's gonna search M14 here.
Roll me luck. You find another.
I seem to be very consistent with my rolls right now.
You find 5 pre-war books. You also find armored socks.
Putting them on.
You're wearing the kinky armored socks.
Oh yeah.
This is great. Okay.
It's extra armor, so that's an extra 2 DT to my legs, isn't it?
Yes, and they're also very sexy.
That also adds +1 to my charisma, right?
I think so.
No, it has no charisma benefit whatsoever. I know because I'm wearing a pair of them that have been reinforced.
Are they negotiation then? I think it gives you another buff.
Nope.
Is it kinky then?
Yep, just kinky.
Yeah, okay, that's the buff I'm thinking of.
Alright, so it's just another 2 to my legs then?
That and the kinky rule.
2DT, 2 weight, kinky. And that's for legs only.
The kinky rule is anyone who is sexually attracted to you, you automatically get a +1 charisma check against. However, they will all immediately have an idea to ask you out.
What's your natural charisma anyway, just out of curiosity?
Mine's a 4 right now.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of, because I've been wearing those pretty much religiously, and I was wearing those while I was interacting with Flitter, I'm surprised that she went straight for racist instead of, huh, you're hot.
That might have just fueled the racism. How dare a lesser race be sexier than she?
I'm gonna roll with that because it gives me, it lets me bullshit. So we're gonna roll with that. Because I kind of forgot that you wear those socks religiously.
They're armor.
Also,
what are the three critters by where Grease is?
That area's locked, so you don't know.
suddenly Sprite Pot.
So, I'm assuming you come into Search's room.
Yes.
You notice that this has been turned into a workshop of sorts, and they've got a Sprite bot over here.
I investigate the Sprite Pot.
Oh.
I will roll luck for the rest of the room after investigating the Sprite Bot.
Okay. It's deactivated, and it's in good condition.
Why do I get the feeling this is where that girl hangs out?
Well, they did mention that she's technically minded. So yes, you come across the Sprite bot. It's currently deactivated, but it's in good condition. Do you open up the panels?
Sure.
You open it up and find that it's missing the batteries. Beyond that, it seems like everything else is in place.
I forget. Can't magical fusion cells be used as batteries? Or was that gem
Sparkle
packs?
packs.
That's
Oh,
just
sparkle packs, right. I knew it was one of the ammos. Okay, I'm gonna roll luck to look around the room.
As will I.
Tom, what are you doing?
Holy fuck, at the crit fail.
Since I'm in the big circular room, has anybody checked the upstairs yet?
The upstairs, these stairs are completely cracked, and if you walked on them, you're pretty convinced you would fall. And the upper ring here you can access.
So this one over here.
Yes.
I'll
Essentially,
look
doesn't,
up, start looking around upstairs.
instead of it being upstairs per se, it's basically more bookshelves line the walls, and it's essentially a walkway around. It's more to be fancy.
Alright, I just rolled a 10 on my luck. What
Yep.
happens?
So, Blueberry, as you're fiddling with the robot, you happen across. Let me roll what you get.
I'm hoping for some batteries.
Right to disappoint you, I think. Although it's not all bad. So, as you're looking around for batteries, you find what you can only assume is her stashed weapon. You come across a combat shotgun. It takes 12 gauge. No, it takes 20 gauge. Okay. It has 24 rounds, 20 gauge. So you have two drums. Sundance, as you go and open up a cabinet, out comes 3 rad roaches.
Ah, there.
Waiting to catch
How many
a
of them are
gold.
still alive?
3 somehow. Wow, that's massive.
Surprise!
I would take a
Turns out the cabinet was also a clown car.
Brad Rosezilla has arrived.
Well,
Roadzilla, more like it.
there were 20 in there, but now it's only 3. So now you know what they were eating.
Oh man.
Do I get a chance to attack first, or do we roll initiative?
I can't turn my
You
head.
roll initiative.
No, it's not funny. I can't turn my head.
I've also just realised I don't have the stats for rad roaches prepared, so I need to find them real quick.
Kill me though.
Great, there goes my luck again.
I don't worry, I don't think these things have high initiative. I'm just going to find.
I rolled a 7.
Yeah, and I don't think it's that high.
Sundance Death by Red Roach.
Yes.
I roll an 8.
Page 3E.
Yep. Yep, found it. Du-du-du-du-du.
I'm not looking at the rest of it. I just found the Rad Roach entry and gave you the
Nope.
page number.
Don't worry about it. God, I should have thought about this before I did this, but okay. Give me 2 seconds. The rest of you, what are you doing while I go and prepare stats out of my ass?
Well, question. Does Sundance squeal like a little girl?
That is a very good question indeed. I will roll willpower.
Roll it at -2 because it's surprising and it's a bug.
It is a bug. The whole thing's a bug.
Well, that's a fail.
You yelp like a little filly.
So we hear Cutie Mark Crusader Philly Scout scream.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds like Sundance.
Your stallion friend appears to be a scared girl.
Well, we can't all have deep masculine voices. She's going to rush.
If it was any higher pitched,
If it was any higher pitched, it'd be Michael Jackson.
How do you ponify Michael Jackson's name?
I don't know. How about one? Tell me. The rest of you don't get an initiative roll. In fact, no, you do, but you just come in the next turn. Let me make sure I actually cleared the initiative because I don't know if I have.
and I'm figuring there's no way I can get there in time.
Ponchal Saxon.
Where the hell is initiative? I've forgotten. Has to be clock.
Offense.
Yeah, I found that. No,
Oh,
I
you
mean
didn't have
for
to
me.
clear it. It was already clear. That was their new rules.
Fuck!
Just right click their token, hit add to
Yeah, I
to
know.
order. And I assume Violet and I will come in next round.
Second turn, yeah. Right click
If the Rad
it.
Roaches live that long.
Yeah, they're probably not even gonna live that long. How did I add to turn? Oh, there it is. It's right in front of me.
Right click, add to order.
Yeah, yeah, I've just found it.
Why do I
That's why
see
I'm not even
7
bothering to
power
try and
armor-
move over there.
Why do I see 3 power armored Pegasi?
Because there are 3 powered armor Pegasi.
I couldn't find one just for powered armor, but you can't see them yet. It's just powered armor though. I probably should have waited to throw those down, or oh well. Unit 7. As you can see, I was super duper prepared for this combat.
By the way, Sundance.
Yep.
On your position in the turn order, click on the 0, change it to a 7.
How did you get an initiative of 18? What the fuck?
It apparently is.
Looks like
There's
you have
apparently a 12 somewhere.
I don't know. Who rolled? I don't know.
Because red roaches have a floor of 10 for their initiative.
Yeah, I know, that's why I'm confused. Okay, I don't understand. I'll just roll 3 1d10s because I don't know what happened.
Well, no, they've got a floor of 10 for their.
Yeah, they have a base of 10. So if he rolled an 8, then he got a 18.
Yeah. Agility.
Right,
12
okay,
or 7
yeah.
feet, that's
Okay, so it is right. Okay, yeah, so it is right.
10 plus a d10.
Red roaches are fast bitches.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. I got confused. That's fine. Screw all of you not going with my carefully prepared plans where I actually had a combat set up for you and going ahead and doing your own thing.
You're welcome.
Even though I'm going to highly encourage that, fuck you anyway.
You know, if it's an open invitation.
I have no reply to that. Moving swiftly on before I get distracted. You're evil, Adagio. I hope you know that.
You know, I've introduced myself to numerous people, but in this particular case, I'll use my online handle. Hi, I'm Adagio. I'm Adagio. I'm an asshole.
So, it's gonna just go ham and try and bite you 7 times.
Crit fail, so that one misses. Miss.
7. Did any hit? 2 hit.
3 hit.
3.
2 hit because the one following a crit fail is a miss.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's only 2.
And it is. Oh shit! I didn't know these things had poison. Okay.
Yeah, if it does damage to hit points, you have to roll a poison check.
Okay. I don't think it is because it has 1 times what? 1 times 1, so 1. So it's 1 plus a d10. Okay.
So at most 11.
Yeah. It bites you.
I have a DT of 12 on my legs.
You don't even feel it.
It's an annoyance at best.
Radroach number 2. He comes up and tries to bite you 6 times, Liberty.
Okay.
Excuse me, I had to help with a dog that was being a backbiter.
They're rad roaches.
That's 5 hits.
That will not go through my DT. I have 15 DT.
It's the thought that counts, okay? It nibbles on your feet, but you don't feel it.
That being said, you do lose a % of durability from your armor for each hit.
No, you only lose a % of durability for your armor if it penetrates. If it does not penetrate, if it does not equal or beat your DT, it does not hurt your armor.
Oh, okay.
And 6 more times you're going to be nibbled on.
That one might actually hurt.
That might actually get through.
Roll the crit and multiply by 50%, and let's see if it actually punches. Nope.
I'm not even gonna. Oh, of
That
course
would've-
that
that
would
would
have. You get the crit on that one. Okay, you get nibbled on even more. See, this isn't even a proper combat, so fuck it, you can just come in.
Unit walks over to a rad roach. Doesn't actually stomp on it. She looks and goes, "Aw, it's cute." And then reaches over to pet it.
Roll charisma. This is how you get
Nat
pat.
one.
Oh my god.
God damn it!
She then levitates out one of the cans of cram, opens it, and offers it to the rad roach.
You hear happy bug noises as it eats the cram. Congratulations, this is how you get pet rad roach. So I'm going to mark it so you know which one it is. Unless it's marked purple because it's your pet now. So you have one very happy Radroach eating out a can of cram. What are you doing with the rest of your AP?
That's it. She sits down and pets the red roach.
So, Blueberry, you've just been nibbled on, you've just watched Sundance get nibbled on, and then you see Unit come in and just start petting one.
And feeding it.
And feeding it too.
Okay, so what's the penalty for point blank?
And a battle
With the
saddle?
battle saddle?
Minus, I believe, minus 15. Yeah, minus 15.
I can handle. To that one.
You hit it, and bloody chunks pour out of it, and it dies. A horrible little squeaking death.
To that one.
And that one is also dead.
And seeing as the alicorn is feeding the other one, I won't shoot it.
Combat's over. The most exciting round of combat ever, my ladies and gentlemen.
Violet looks at 777, suppresses the urge to puke, pats her on the back and says, "You have fun with that, dear. I'm going to just go somewhere else." Walks into M14 and starts rummaging through the shelves.
But once you get past the exoskeleton, they're cute.
Sometimes it's just gonna look and just slowly walk out of the room and help Violet.
Anybody searching, because the two of you are slightly disturbed by the fact the alicorn now has a pet Radroach, roll at -1. Because you're not fully focused.
Roll luck at -1.
Yeah.
Well, Violet is looking for something very specific, so perception is going to be the thing for her.
That's fine.
Suddenly, I feel like a parcel of Fluttershy is appropriate at some point in her career/life.
And luck just to see if she finds anything. Ah, no.
Both of us got 1 degree of failure.
You don't find what you're looking for, Violet. You just find more pre-war books.
Well, I mean, considering all of these rooms have been looked over, I assume that anything of value has probably already been taken, so...
Yep. You just find more books. Because books are wonderful. Tom, what are you doing?
Yep, I am.
Well, I hear the squeal of a horse. I hear a couple shots and then silence, and I figured, well, it's dead. I keep going around the circle and seeing if I can find anything of any use up here.
Roll me luck. Oh, also, while you were gone, I had to make a roll for you. You now have 1 scrap. No, wait, it wasn't the scrap one you pulled apart, was it? Was it the scrap?
It was the one that we had to destroy because it was shooting at us.
Okay. Yeah, you pulled apart 1 scrapped turret and basically took what was left of it.
Okay.
And up there, you find just a bunch of rune books.
Dead books.
Very dead books.
Oh yeah, that's on Mayhem's body too, or pack. Just found one of my notes. Excuse me. I'll circle around, not find any decent ruined books. I'm going to come back down. I will exit out this doorway. I'm pinging if it's doing it. There it goes. And I'll look in there.
You find the lunchroom. Roll luck again.
My luck can't always be bad.
You have angered the dice gods. Maybe not. You find two sparkle colas and a can of veg.
Two sparkle cola and a what?
Can of veg.
I have to ask, when Seven gets up and starts to search the room, does the red roach follow her?
The rad roach follows you.
Okay then. Well, she looks through the room for books or things that would be considered useful.
I'm just.
Failed
You know,
20.
if we feed the rad roach 1,000 rads, it'll turn into a colossal rad roach.
Okay.
Please tell me you said that in guys or somebody else used that.
Sevens thinks about it. You know, if we feed it enough rads to make it equivalent to a black alicorn, it would turn into a colossal sized rad roach, wouldn't it?
We can ride it for miles.
She's talking to Blueberry.
Can you move the token now, Fee?
No.
What? Why does it do this?
I forgot to press the fucking button.
How does Blueberry respond when she says that?
He looks confused and says, I don't know about that, but I was just thinking about this one time I met a glowing ghoul that had a pet rad roach. It was an interesting conversation.
Well, they are not exactly cuddly, but once you get past the whole carapace thing and actually wash them off, they're kind of cute.
They'll eat whatever you give them.
As a note, this is Fallout Equestria, so when she rubs her hoof across the carapace and removes all the dirt, underneath, the rad roach is pink.
Wait, what?
What did you do?
Rad roaches in Fallout Equestria, underneath all of the dirt, are not brown. They're the color of the radiation that mutated them, so they're either pink or green.
I did not know that. Okay, you have a very pink rad roach. Also, can you check if you can move it now?
Still can't move it. I think it's... I don't know.
Why is it doing that? Okay.
In the meantime, sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's fine. I'm just checking the cafeteria. And after that, I'll check the other two offices, M7 and M6.
There is no door to them from that side. You would have to go around.
Okay, that's not a door.
No, I know the map's not great.
Let's see, that's outside. Now, we've gone through and disabled several turrets.
Yep.
And is this the one I've already wrecked?
No, you read the one in M10.
Then I'm going to come down, go to M9, see it's disabled, and start pulling parts off.
Okay, you get, for everyone you go and dismantle, you get 2 scrap electronics and 2 scrap metal. As well as, hold on. 38, 556 from that one. And I'm assuming you're going to do it to all of them, so that's all the 556 plus this metals, plus your metal and electronics.
So it's 8 of them or 10? 10.
Actually, Little Pip, we only blew up one turret. If she was taking them apart, wouldn't she be able to get the guns out of them?
Yes, if you wanted to make a repair mechanics check, sure.
They blew up one, so it's 4 of them, right?
Yep.
Oh, there's one in here too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, what? No, 5. 5 you can do.
I suddenly had this image of Blueberry and Sevens walking into a room, and both of them have a brace of light machine guns.
That's the critical success.
You, on the last one, you accidentally break the barrel as you're pulling it out, but the rest of them, you pull out a 556 service rifle, and on the crat, roll me 20 plus 1d10, or sorry, 20 plus 2d10.
Go ahead and do it, Fiaura. I got 38, 556. I got
No, you got 131 556.
131, 556. Okay.
And this roll to determine how much more you're going to get, as well as that one you pulled out being at 100 condition.
20 plus 2d10.
Yes.
Hey, I typed it right.
We did not. No.
And how many rifles do I get?
You get 3 rifles, or sorry, you get 4 rifles. The one you got the crit success on, you get 100% condition. The other one comes out at 91, 70, and 71.
Can you? I'm a little slow on my writing. 100. What were the other two? Thank you, Fiaura. 4 LMGs. Yeah. We're going to have some very well-armed people.
As a note, 7.
Yeah.
The rad roach is it's scuttling up against your leg.
Probably because of her latent radiation.
She will pet it like you would pet a small child and continue searching the room with Blueberry.
Did you roll your luck for that?
Yes. She got
6.
6 out of 5.
You found a bottle of Wonder Glue, a couple of wrenches, and a screwdriver.
Ow!
As well as that, the antennae of the rad roach start to... I don't know how you would describe the motion. Pitch up and down, happily. That's the best way I can describe it.
Is this how you make pets?
Sometimes.
Well, if it wants to stay around, we'll keep it. She looks very confused.
You'll probably want to keep it away from Violet. She didn't seem to take it well.
Neither did Sundance.
But that's because he's a bitch. He's a pansy.
You, I just thought they were cute. I didn't realize that it would be my pet.
Yeah, well, as long as you don't pet it too hard, it won't pop.
Does she literally lean in and say that?
Oh, no. That was out of character.
Adagio, I have had roaches take direct hits from a pellet pistol, and it kept climbing the wall.
Yeah, because you didn't apply the force over the entirety of its carapace. You applied it over a small portion of it where it's got a better chance of rebounding.
No, it normally I would hit a normal roach, and they would splatter on the wall, piss the houseboy off. But this one big one was going up the wall. I know I missed him a couple of times, but I hit him close enough that I knocked him off the wall. But at least twice I hit him, and the second time I said, "I'm going to leave him alone before he gets mad."
I've never ever even seen a roach.
Go into the sewers of London.
No. Anyhow, jumping to Violet. What are you and Sundance doing?
Oh, I'm still looking for medical manuals, and since we didn't find any there, I asked him, have you checked all of these rooms so far?
No, not all.
I mean, across the back wall.
By the way, whoever shut the turrets down, thank you.
Oh yeah, we searched all the rooms here, but we haven't searched the rooms past here.
That door was locked, Fee. Go back, please. Yeah. Wait, it's not very sturdy.
Violet would have tested the handle and then stepped out of the way. I don't see why you would want it to be there. Thunder?
Thunder comes flying in. Yes.
What's past these doors?
You see he pauses for a minute, and he considers lying. That's where the power armor workshop is.
Oh. So there's nothing that we could actually be, looking for, such as like medical manuals for your doctor or more pre-war books.
You know, we don't have power armor for the whole wing anymore, but we have a couple of suits. We just keep them in here because we don't have the proper tools to maintain them. If you broke down the door, you may risk the chance of Flitter getting in and getting access to one of the armors and coming and looking for you all.
Well, I mean, that's fair. She could try, but
Have you ever seen a Pegasus in power armor? He
Violet.
looks utterly horrified.
Blueberry was going to answer, but just looks at Seven like,
Wow,
well then.
savage.
What? They do. They squish like a can of cram.
Well, and to be fair, you haven't actually seen us have to fight.
Also, what's Thunder's reaction when she sees the cockroach running up to Seven?
He failed his perception, he didn't see it.
Okay.
At least not yet, because there's a lot of you in the hallway and he's looking at your eyes, not your feet. You know, I like you, Alicon lady, but you are really intimidating.
Oh, you should have met our other friend then. That would have been a hoot. Hey, Blueberry, what do you think you would have thought of me, Inda?
Honestly, I have no idea.
I get the feeling he would have made the same mistake as everybody else did. Anyway.
Probably.
Well, then we won't break the door down.
Only things through there are more power armor, tools, and a power generator.
Well, while I was in the last room, I took a look outside. There's some buildings out back. Is there anything we need to be concerned with out there? Storage or homes or anything like that?
No, that's just storage for the excess waste.
Okay. Well, if you happen to find any medical journals while you guys are looking through the library, pass them along to Rainbreeze.
I mean, we haven't scratched the surface of this place, and I'm assuming you didn't, take every book.
Sevens
Oh.
blushes and looks very sheepish.
You took every book, or at least most books, didn't you?
She levitates out 14 books plus the Ministry of Morale version of the Philly Scout Handbook.
We'll make sure to check them out properly.
He kind of shrugs. I mean, we've just mostly been using this as excess storage in a workplace. I mean, you don't have to bring them back.
Violet looks up at 777.
Yes.
I think he means you can keep them.
Happy horse noises.
Violet steps aside into the room over. You can give him a hug if you want.
Does Seven tackle him?
There's a look
laughing
of
out for that.
fear. There's a look of fear, and he mouths at you. Why?
She starts to rush him and then stops herself and goes, "Oh, right." She
Blueberry goes,
gently,
"Do it!"
she gently wraps her wings around him and gives him a wing hug.
He returns the gesture, quite thankful that his bones aren't being crushed, and then lets out a yip. Why is there a bright pink rad roach following you? And why is it not eating you?
Oh, it's pink because we cleaned it off, and it's following us because we think we made it our pet.
Looks at Blueberry.
What?
You've got a pet. You know what? This is even the
Cheetah.
weirdest thing I've heard.
She does.
Why does it say we?
That's just how alicorns talk.
I mean, you've never encountered an alicorn before.
We just kind of kept ourselves to ourselves and shot at most things that came near.
Could I explain this using academics and lore?
Doesn't really have to be explained. It's self-explanatory. It speaks in a different. What would you call it? Third person.
Third person.
Yeah.
Doesn't really need explanation. It just doesn't understand why. Okay, that's a bit weird, but again, I've seen weirder stuff.
I mean, didn't Celestia and Luna also refer to themselves in the third person?
We refer to ourselves this way because we were taught to refer to ourselves this way always. It is proper royal etiquette, though we don't think we're royalty.
Well, if you want, you can refer to yourself as I.
That feels strange.
Give it a while. It might grow on you. Otherwise, I don't see any reason to keep, I don't see any reason to fight you on it. Kind of endearing.
Anyway, I set the security back to passive, so it shouldn't cause any further problems. He says, not realizing that Greece has went and pillaged all the machine guns. So hopefully the security shouldn't turn back on. That being said, I am sorry on Flitter's behalf again.
Violet nods. You know, there is something that one of my mentors did for me when I started thinking that unicorns were better than everybody else.
Oh?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Regular and judicious spankings.
I was going to say 2x4 to the side of the head.
What is
Stupid.
spankings?
It's when you strike someone's ass with your hoof with the intent to cause pain but not permanent injury.
That sounds like a kinky bed thing you do.
Well, I mean, some people like that.
Is there anything else I can do for you before you leave?
Honestly, just keep an eye on her. She seems like a good kid. She's just a little misguided.
Well, if her dad was Lightning, I think you can understand where she gets it from.
Oh, wait. Lightning was her dad?
Yep. And that makes her my niece.
She is, they're all related?
I suppose. Who's her mother?
She's dead. Died in childbirth.
Forgive me for asking.
He shrugs. I mean, not to speak ill of the dead, but I didn't like her very much.
And that's fair. Well, needless to say, I don't think we're going to find much else of use in here. And I mean, far be it from us to take one of the major tools that you would use to defend your home. There is a Sprite bot in the room back there. If you want, we can clean up the remains of the rad roaches in there. I think Glitter might actually want to repair it.
He looks past you all to the room you're talking about. Huh. That was her. That was a maintenance room she was using. I guess she must have found that. Okay. Don't worry about cleaning up after yourselves. We'll deal with it. He offers hoof to each of you as you go past.
Violet shakes his hoof and wanders past and out into the foyer again.
Sundance also shakes his hoof and requires, it would have been nice to take a look at the power armor, but oh well. Safe travels.
Won't fit you, buddy.
Sevens gives him a big alicorn
I,
hug,
oh,
picks him up.
I knew it wouldn't fit, but it just would have been nice to just take a look at it.
Sevens gives him a big alicorn hug, picks him up, spins around, and puts him in place where she was standing.
He is dizzy. Your pet rad roach dutifully follows.
Violet stuffs to the other side of Sundance as she hears this, the red roach scurry up. I'm never gonna get used to that.
Well, I don't know where you're heading next, but stay safe and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yep. Greasy. Grease? Looks at the others. Okay, I don't see Grease. I'm gonna go look for her.
Grease is still going through rooms, checking for stuff.
All the rooms have been searched, apart from the ones that have been locked here. They searched them all whilst you were gone, Tom.
Okay.
Anything useful has already been found. So,
Violet will see Grease coming out of a room with a very bulging pack on her back as she rattles down the hallway.
Grace, we gotta go. We gotta get to the circle.
Okay. I'm going to need some help with some stuff later.
Can we wait until we get to the circle?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, come on. We got some moving
Grease
to do.
hurries up.
So at this point, the question is: do people here want to continue, or do people want to call it here?
I think here is a good spot to call it.
Yeah, it means that we could we could start next game by actually leaving.
Yeah, we can literally just start next game with "You're on the road."
Yep. And as far as that goes, I nominate Glacier for the next week recap.
Also, as
I'll
a
try.
note, Sevens does pet the red roach, but she still feels really weird that it likes her.
It is a happy red roach.
She just thought it was cute once she worked past the carapace part.
Once again, it is a happy roach.
You fed it, and it's going to take it a while to finish a can of cram. Because I don't know how big our red roach is considered.
What's going to be hilarious is if we get a dose of Scholar, she's going to give it to it and see what a red roach with an intelligence of 6 is like.
That would be funny.
Top hat, monocle, top hat.
All of a sudden, it'll be talking to us with Morse code.
Speaks in a British accent. My good sir.
Pip pip cheerio.
Great, now you've given me a path for this character that involves a Fluttershy's Apostle as a potential perk.
I do not regret this.
Walks
We
up
are
to...
going. We are going to be the most non-violent but capable group in the wasteland. Like, we're gonna walk up and just be like, "Hey, how's it going? You're apparently the evil person of the day. So, you want to stop being evil? No. Pretty please?
So-
No. Pretty please with a cherry on top? Fine.
So what you're saying is we're gonna be an entire group of Wandering Sunrise.
Wandering Sunrise has become a verb now, and that is just disturbing.
I am proud of this.
Also, I will apologise for the fact that this session was very slow. I probably should have, if nobody had anything to do, just push you on to the next thing.
It's okay. Sometimes
No,
it's fun to take time and
Go
be
ahead,
funny.
Yeah. Like, realistically, the Wednesday night campaign moves at kind of a breakneck pace because it's not coming out as a video series.
Hold on.
It's just,
Everybody want to say their last little piece real quick before we get into that, so I can end the
Oh.
recording?
by all means. So, for everybody watching on YouTube, thank you for tuning in for yet another episode of this crazy shit.
We hope you enjoyed it. Slap the like button like it's hot, and subscribe.
They keep ruining my plans. This is bullshit.
Well, we would stop ruining your plans the moment that you throw someone at us who's completely unwilling to talk to us.
That's no
Which is-
spoilers. No spoilers.
There
Of
has
course,
to be
by
someone who is
then-
completely incapable of talking to us.
Or
Because
just
if it's
or just raiders who literally just want to see the world burn, because you can do that. You can have raiders who just want to see the world burn.
I know I can. I have no spoilers because I have things set up for your next 2 random encounters before you hit the circle.
Also, other character, even though Thunder said that the power armor wouldn't fit him, he would still probably envision himself wearing it.
It's not. Well, I suppose it's technically within your sphere of interest because it's post Mega Spell, but still like 200 years ago
Good
development.
night,
Well,
everyone.